appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah. Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Life's a ride, so let's make it count. Cherish every moment, that's what it's about. Tune in together, we're building our groove. Every beat, every laugh, we're ready to move. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave the troubles behind. This podcast is gold, the treasure you'll find. With every word, we'll light up your day. Join the conversation, let's laugh all the way. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave your troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you find.
What up, what up, what up? Happy Sunday morning, everybody. I hope you are all having a great weekend. Maybe afternoon for you guys. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. There we go. I covered it all. I hope it's good for you guys because it's great to be here with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for the morning show. We haven't done a lot of these lately, but we're going to get back into them. It is great to see you all. Missed you guys yesterday. Busy day, busy day, busy day. Please make sure to hit the like button when you come through the door, if you will. Let's see if we can get this in that algorithm. Thank you all for the Purple Hearts, guys. You guys are amazing. In memory of Wisdom Speaks, forever missed. Thank you guys for that. Come on in and grab a seat. Get comfortable, if you will. Please and thank you. We'll be doing the morning show today, and then I'll be coming back in here a little later on because I have something I want to cover, of course, in the Idaho case that I've been thinking about for a while and seeing different things on it. So for those of you that are following the Idaho case, which is probably most of you, please make sure you come back a little later this afternoon. We won't be here too long this morning, and then I'll be coming back for that other show afterwards. So I hope to see you guys for that as well. Besides that, we're going to catch up on some other stuff going on in the world today. As we all see in the title, it's Summer Wells, Travis Decker, and so much more. So thank you guys for being here for that. Speaking of, who do we have this morning? Looks like Miss Krista's in here. Reality, good to see you. Meg P, good morning, Meg. Good to see you, dear. Miss Trish, good to see you today. Chet Donnelly, welcome back, my friend. Good to see ya. Girl next door, good morning to you. It's a new name for me. Miss Denise, good to see you. Samira Dalby, always happy to have you here. Philip Hughes, my friend, good to see you, and thank you for that. I try. Humphrey, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Meg. CZ is always happy to have you here. Always great to see you. Hopefully you're not going back to work too soon here. School's going to be in session again, and these awesome teachers we have in here should be joining back up. Witchy, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Miss Paula, the positive one, great to see you this morning. Night Rider, love your name. Hello and welcome. Good to see you. The day before my birthday, you started following. That's pretty awesome. Done it. Karma Police in the house. You guys know what that means. You better behave. TLC is me. Welcome to you. Great to see you. Lady Speedwell, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Anna Zorman, welcome. And again, guys, please hit the like button if you would and share this out. Let everybody know we're hanging out today. And good morning to all you beautiful people. It's great to see you today. Fizzy just fizzed on in here. Good to see you, Fizzy. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. Damn allergy stuff is just killing me. Duckman, quack, quack, back to you. Hello and welcome. Good to see you. Rant, rant. Rant, rant. Rant, rant. Let's see. Come on in. I hope you've all had a great weekend. Last day of it. Let's do it right. Quackity quack. Don't come back. Rant, rant, rant. Rant, rant. Now I'm going to do that all day. Rant, rant. Let's see. I got to turn some things down in the background again. Here we go. Rant, rant. Next Monday. Oh, geez. Of course. You deserve that break, too, CZ. I think Tandy already went back. I know she did. She went back a while ago. That's not enough time. You guys need a bigger break than that. That's for sure. Oh. Rant, rant. Let me see. While we're waiting on some peeps to jump in, just trying to check and make sure I got emails and all that fun stuff. So, let's see. Nope, nothing new there. Check this too. Rant, rant. Rant, rant. Rant, rant. Rant, rant. Katie Flores, welcome. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Tandy went back 2 weeks ago, I think. She went back early. I thought so. Mark Schumann, what's up, brother? Good to see you today. Come on in and grab a chair, a seat, the floor, the couch, the toilet, whatever you want to sit on. Have a seat. Oh, Chris, if your brain's just now melting, you're doing good, hon, because mine's been melted for about 3 years now. And it's leaking. Every time I touch this, it leaks more of it leaks out my ears. True Seeker in the house. Good to see you. Brandy B, the OG. Welcome, Brandy. Good to see you, dear. Let's see. Thank you to my Blue Crewers in here. Appreciate you, Miss Meg, Miss Brandy. I appreciate you joining us today very much. Couldn't do this without you all. Lady Speedwell, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Didn't see you there till just now. Great to have you in the house again. William Tardy, hello and welcome, sir. Okay, we got 54 peeps in the house, 35 likes. You know what I'm going to say next. Come on, y'all. Please and thank you. Misty Jane, hey. Fishing and listing in West Virginia. Beautiful West Virginia. Good for you. I hope you catch some stuff. My buddy called me yesterday and sent me some pictures. Woof. He caught a catfish the size of my leg. Like, the head on it was this big. He said he brought home, after they filleted him and everything, they got home with 20 pounds of catfish. I said, good for you. I said, you do remember my address, right? He said, of course. I said, well, hint, hint. Drop that stuff off. Let me fry it up. I love fish, folks. Remember when I asked you the night before the docs came out if you felt any more confident about your theory now than you did 3 years ago? Are you talking to me, Krista? If you are, actually, I do. I feel even more innocence towards Brian than I did before. Chris, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Yes, catfish is the schmidget bomb. I love it. Love me some catfish if it's cooked right. Yes. Yes, and the chat too. Yeah, I feel 100% more positive of his innocence more than I did before his plea. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of all the mess that we've read in these reports, but I truly do. I truly do. You're allergic to all water food. Ah, okay. Seafood. I gotcha. That sucks. I would go nuts because I love seafood. I love shrimp and crab and lobster and fish and clams and squid. And you throw it at me, I'm going to like it. I've always loved seafood. I think I should have been a merman or something. I have an allergy to the iodine, though. I do. When I lived down in Florida, I ate shrimp for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I used to go catch it, so we had so much of it in our we had a stand-up freezer in Florida that it was full of shrimp because we would catch it out of the Indian River. We lived close to that down in New Smyrna, and we would go shrimping all the time. And we had so much of it that we had it all the time. So I ate so much when I lived down there that I think I created an allergy. I still eat it, but I do have a shellfish allergy now. But I still eat it, and then I'll scratch and rub and that crap. But it's one of them things. Even look at the expression of his sister's face, People magazine, leaving the courthouse after sentencing as if it's like she knows he didn't do it. Oh, I'm truly agreed with you, Duckman. Katie Batts, welcome. Good to see you, Miss Katie. Oh, yeah. I'll eat crab any way you give it to me. End of the line. Welcome. Good to see you. Yellow belly, flathead, yabbies, and jilted. Oh, hey. Yes. Yes. God, I'd love to get over there to get some fish. That's awesome. Welcome. We got a lot of Aussies that come in here. I love it. Love Australia. I love all of our foreigners, UKers, everybody. It's grateful. I'm grateful to have you guys here. And it's pretty neat, too, you know. Fox Rooter, what's happening to you, Fox? Good to see you. Good to have you here. And thank you for that. I do, guys. I feel even more just in my feelings. My wife does, too. We talked about it this morning again. Even more just in my feelings. Thank you, Miss Brandy, guys. If you have not yet done it, if you do follow TikTok, go check out our TikTok. Pretty awesome. She does a lot of great things over there. Miss Brandy does. She handles our TikTok all by herself. Welcome, Miss Lacey. Good to see you. I think she was with the father, Katie. Katie said, I felt like Brian's sister's eyes seen straight through my soul. I wonder where the other sister was. Didn't see her. Did you? No, she wasn't there. I knew there was Michael, his father. I think they were together. Something's coming now. I truly feel more comfortable with it now. Some form of appeal or something. I don't want to give you an exact what I think it is because I could be wrong. But welcome, Matt. Good to see you, buddy. But I do definitely feel it. Yeah, and that's another thing is Brian's sister, Amanda, I think that was the one that was there, has the same eyes that Brian Kubricker has. They have the same eyes and same looks, okay? So if you're going to try to judge him based on his eyes and his looks, then she's the same person. It's ridiculous. Stop with the stupid shit. Good morning, Dragonfly. It's been a while. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we'll get into that this afternoon because I got some other stuff. I want to talk about prosecution styling and things that part of the prosecution team have stated and stuff like that. So that is going to be what we're doing this afternoon. Hang on a second. Come on in, guy. I'm just looking at some Claire Bear. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. Me too, Duckman. I would like to hear from the whole family. I don't know that we will, but you know. It is crazy, crazy. It's all crazy, crazy, wild, crazy. Here comes the weird lighting now. The sun coming in. I can't wait till I spin this around. I think I'm going to do it. We're going to be covering that Duckman and some other stuff that's been talked about. Basically, what we're going to be getting into is the. I don't even know how to explain how I'm going to say it, but did Brian was prosecuted on fear? I guess maybe not fear, but it was not a real and true to the law prosecution. It was done illegally. So we're going to get into that, which we've already talked about it, but we're gonna hear from some people that have talked on it. So yes, I agreed, Claire. Both places agreed. I would love to have a conversation with Sai. Yes, it is. It is very important. Hey, Robert, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you, my friend. Excuse me. All right, guys, we got 68 peeps in the house, 45 likes. Let's hit that like button and let's get some things moving here. I don't want you guys sitting here forever waiting. I was just trying to wait till we got some more people in here so we didn't have to back up and start again. And that's okay. We have a couple, like I said, this afternoon, I'm going to be doing a secondary show. We're going to be going through some interviews in Idaho and discussing the way that the prosecution did what they did and what they knew. What they knew when they did what they did. Robert is True Crime Unleashed. I'm sorry, chat, right here. I should call him by his channel name, but Miss Lily, good morning, dear. Good to see you today. Yvonne Poole, hello. Welcome. I don't know, man. The plea kind of makes sense. It wasn't going to be a fair trial. I still think he would have gotten up. Listen, Matt, it's possible, but I don't think they wanted to take the chance with the way everything else went. Okay. So I think they did this because it's going to give him options that he would not have had, even if he would have gotten convicted and filed his appeals in that way. That's why I think this was done now. I'm kind of starting to see a picture here that makes a little more sense to me if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then I'm completely floored. That's what I won't get. And I think that with the death penalty on the table, taking the chance of doing that, it would be, and who knows if they would have convicted him and threw it, the death penalty at him, who knows what they would have done then. Maybe they'd have tried to fast track him to it. I'm not saying that could have happened, guys. It just, with the way everything else is gone, I don't doubt it. So that's why I think they didn't want to take the chance, and they did it this way. That's just my opinion, of course. Show. Yeah, he's in PC right now in J Block where he's at, which is protective custody. Pray and fingers crossed that he's safe. The only reason why I get nervous is because Jeffrey Dahmer was in PC in protective custody. They still got to him, which can happen. And it's a little unnerved. It makes me a little unnerved. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Right, Chris, I got you, bud. I got you. Speaking of which, I need to check something. Meg, can you do me a favor if you have the ability to? If not, don't worry about it. The link that gave us those reports initially, do you have that link? And if you do, can you drop it to me in Discord, please, dear? According to iDoc, he isn't. Oh, he's in PC, bud. J Block is protective custody. That's where he's at. They clearly stated that. I mean, that's what they're claiming. So, Hemisphere, welcome. Good to see you. Well, there's a lot of other threats that went out too, Witchy. So, the Rex Harriman case. That's a whole other disaster. There's a big old mess. There's definite corruption there. Obvious. We all know that. And I think they're still going to be finding more people that Rex got his hands on. And I've kind of stayed away from it because I'm afraid that if I get into that one, that I'll go in head first and my feet will be dangling out here and I won't be able to get out of it. So I've watched the basics and the ground on it. The ground rules with that one. Thank you, Meg. God, you're an angel. Thank you so much. So awesome. Welcome, Miss Carrie. Good to see you. Don't you think if a defense lawyer thinks he's truly innocent, someone would step in for him and represent him? Well, here's the thing is they're going to have to. They're going to have to. From what I understand, that's what we're going to be doing this afternoon is talking about that too. Anne will not be able to represent him in this if he goes for this appeal process or whatever it's going to be. She can counsel him up to that point with what to do. Welcome, Scully. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us today. So thank you, Fizzy, as well. He'll have to have another attorney. Now, with what has happened, if anybody's read up on this case, this is an opinion. This is nothing I know, but it's an opinion. If I was an attorney and I saw what was going on here, I'd take it on pro bono to prove the bullshit. Okay. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. I don't think so, Fizzy. I don't think she could. She could take it on, but will she? I don't know. Because she was part of the defense team. I don't know how that would work out, if that would be a conflict of interest or not. But she wasn't the lead like Anne was. Now, it made me wonder if Eliza took it as the lead, I wondered if Anne could come in as a secondary on that. She's not the lead defense attorney, so I wonder if she could come in as a secondary. You know what I mean? And they could work the way that they would, basically opposite the way they were working before, which would be interesting. I'd like to know if that's allowed or not. Yeah, I feel like somebody will step in on this, truly, to defend him, whether it's charging him or pro bono. But I feel there's so much of this bullshit out here that anybody that sees this is going to see how unconstitutional this was done and is going to want to help with this. So that's just my opinion. It may not happen. I don't know. Yes, Miss Carrie, you don't have to do that, dear, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. Super Chat says, thank you for answering my question. You need someone from out of state. I don't know if they can do that, though, P. Unless they're licensed in the whole United States. I don't know, which there are attorneys that are licensed in every state, but I don't know if they're not, then they have to be. That's my understanding. Oh, Alan Jackson would be amazing. Can you imagine Alan Jackson on this case screaming about the bullshit and the corruption? That would be crazy. Alicia, yeah. Bacon, it's called, I always forget what it's called too, Fizzy. It's post conviction something. I can't remember the name of it. Tomboy was in here. She knows it. It's post something. That's what it starts with. And I know when I read it, I always forget the name of it. It gives them up to like a year that they filed that after the 42 days. And it's better, in my opinion. Post-conviction relief. God, I love you, Meg. Thank you so much. There it is. Post-conviction relief he can file for it. The 42 days, I believe. And it'll give him up to or more than a year to do what he's got to do. And that would be, in my opinion, at this point, at least a decent amount of time to prove his innocence then. And that's what they need. That's what they needed. They needed extra time to go through the extra discovery that still hadn't been handed over to him after 2.5 years. So yeah, that would be the best bet in my opinion. And it does not penalize him with the appeal that he waived. Stay with all, guys, because we're going to have this conversation this afternoon. I promise you. Lots to talk about with that part of it, with the legal side. Because like I said, it's not about Brian at this point. It's about fixing this, showing the corruption that has happened here and the way that the prosecution did this. Corruption, prosecution by fraud is what I've been calling it. So I gotta check something. Hold on, y'all. Miss the Meg. Thank you, ma'am. You're so awesome. There's nothing new there. Let me see. I would hope that there should be more of these supplemental reports, but there haven't been any more dropped at this point. And there are no new actual documents. Thank you so much for that again, Meg. I appreciate you. I don't know why I had it pinned and I lost it because I'm just that disorganized. Fugly Muffin, hello and welcome. LA looks good to see you today. Unsealed on porch, a letter sat. Okay, thank you. Witchy, thank you so much. I want 12-hour water usage report for 11/22 that day. Okay, interesting. Good points. God, you guys see this conversation this afternoon is going to be perfect for this. It also exposed all the new media and content creators who isn't in the docs but goes by what is being. Yes, there's a lot of that. I did pull and save them. I downloaded them, Meg, so I just wanted to make sure there was nothing new, but that's a good point. If I had a printer, I would definitely print them off to file them with the rest of the stuff I have filed. That's a good idea. If you guys have those, that's what I would do. But yeah, I would like to be able to print them off, all 314 of them. I was just checking because I swear I heard that there's going to be more coming. We'll see. I don't know. That would be interesting to see, Denise, if he were to step in and say, okay, this is this and it's that. I don't think he will. I don't think he really cares that much about this specific one, but to see what has happened is crazy. Anybody in any kind of a power seat should see it and say, okay. Well, and the thing is if it is a lot of ink too. What's up, Rach? If he can't afford to do this with the appeal process, Hitler even said it himself that the state will pay for it. So that I'm not worried about. Hey, Friday. What's up, Sarge? Good to see you. Maybe he and Brent are tied to this and no one is able to allow any questions that contradict Brian K. didn't do it. I don't know. Interesting, Sarge. I don't know. There could be, Brent could be tied to it somehow. I don't know, though. I don't think Brian is at this point. The more I read into this stuff, the more I see. I just don't. I've even tried to sit back and flip-flop everything upside down and say, okay, he could have done this. He could have done that. He could have done this. He could have done it. And sure, he could have. I just don't think he did. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, I don't care about that, but I just don't think he did. I don't think this kid had anything to do with this. That's and the hardest part to saying that is the fact that he's involved in it. There has to be some way that he got involved in it. So free Pop-Tarts. Okay. No, and they've been saying that. That's part of what we're going to talk about this afternoon. There's the tomboy. What does it say? Pro hack vice attorney can be appointed for him, but a local council must be involved in the case to ensure compliance. Yeah, that I did know. Thank you, Tomboy. Thank you for being here too, by the way. What was eye-opening to me was the Banfield duck. And that said, the undercover police patrolling. Oh, that's the biggest thing right there, because we now know for a fact, because it's in documents, that wasn't his car there. That's kind of what kind of took me closer to the he's innocent side of things after this. It was seeing that and hearing that, because that tells you that's what they based this off of. He's driving around all night before he did it. Yeah, you're wrong. So Miss Becky's in the house. Becky Strider, good to see you. Maybe Brent's phone was in that big phone dump of earlier. Yeah, it could be. Could be. That's interesting, Becky. Good point. That could be how they got that. The whole thing is a mess. A lot of damn mistakes. And then I feel like 90% of what happened was the mistakes that were made were covered up. That's where the corruption comes in. I'm not saying that the police were fully involved as far as hands-on guys and they were in there doing the deed. That's not what I mean by corruption. What I mean is when you make a mistake in law enforcement or in legality systems, you step up and say, I screwed this up. Okay. A lot of people don't do that because it makes them look bad. It can ruin their case. So they don't. So in turn, that was all the part that I see that was covered up, was the investigation or lack thereof, like I always say. And then in the legal side of it, when they got into court systems, a bunch of bullshit happened. And it's out there, so you can't change it. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to go with it and hope that it works. The only thing they had, from what I saw, and this is what we're going to talk about later too, the only thing they had, and it was super half-assed, was the IGG. Nothing else. They were basing their entire case off of the IGG. And when we were starting to get closer to this, it was realized that that wasn't anything. It wasn't enough. To remind us all how poor Dylan suffered after and how it's worth not. Yes, thank you, Fox. She needs $90,000 for healing. Hell, if that's the case, so do most of us. Not writing reports months and sometimes years after the fact. No, it's not. I agree. Oh boy, you guys got a lot to say on this, so I hope you're here for this afternoon. Yes, we did, Tomboy. We're going to talk about that this afternoon too, Tomboy. I don't know, Robert. I don't know what to think of that. If her aunt started that for her, if they think she needs it, then that whatever. I think that's a bit much, but that's whatever. Why do you need to be relocated, and why would you need to be relocated? And just take. And granted, if she was traumatized, she was traumatized. I'll give them that. Okay, go to therapy. Do the best you can do to recover yourself from it. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying if that's what they're going to claim this to be, and move on with your life the best you can. But all this other stuff that goes, I just don't see a need. Well, I hope you pop back in here this afternoon when we have our other show, Krista. Lots to talk about with that there. So all the bad guys are locked up, or are they? Well, they say they are, but yeah, we're going to be looking into that stuff. That's why we're doing the morning show, Tomboy. She could be, Becky. That's a good point. She could be. Right. If people choose to do that, that's their business, their thing. I get it. All right. On we go. On we go. Hold on here. Well, we're gonna have a good conversation this afternoon. If I see you guys saying all these things here, I cannot wait to do the second show. Then it's gonna be a good one. I hope you're all here for it, and then we can respit all this stuff you guys are saying then. So the first thing we're going to jump into is some updates within the Summer Wells situation. I covered that case very, very deeply a while back. So, and in my opinion, it's really gone cold, and I have issues with that. And I want to get into some updates with that. Let's see here. Yes, Meg, I agree. Has anybody in here followed Summer Wells at all? Besides, I know a couple of you may have, but if you have, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure everybody knows about the case first off. Yeah, I know. That's why I like it, Witchy. That's why I run that thing. I think it's pretty cool. Christina doesn't know. Okay. Katie has. Krista has. Meg. I knew you did, Meg. Okay. Well, I will make sure you guys understand everything we're talking about because it's a really sad situation. It's another version of a Sebastian Rogers type thing, and it's in the same state, Tennessee. I know you did, Tomboy, for sure. Lisa Hawkins, welcome. I'll catch you guys up that don't know. so you do understand. But I was really deep in this one for a long time. And it really still makes no sense. Crisps, caprines, and Nigerian dwarf dairy goats. Okay, welcome. I'm not gonna say yet, Krista. I've had my thoughts on that for a while, but I don't know for a fact at this point. We'll get into that too, because we're gonna come back on this one a little deeper another time. But we're just gonna get with the updates right now, and I'll explain to you what it's all about. Because there's so much stuff coming out right now, and it's all over the place. I'm trying to find. Hang on here. There's definitely some movement in that case, guys. It had gone cold, but there's definitely some movement in this case. Now, let me give you guys a little. Excuse me. Good to see you, LA looks. It's hard to find the original stuff, but I'm going to give you hang on. This first thing we're going to look at is from 3 years ago when they were coming up to where it was almost a year that Summer had been missing. Okay, Fox. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was talking about something that was off the subject. I apologize, guys. I have other stuff I got to cover too sometimes, but I will get back to the other stuff when the Idaho. I promise you this afternoon, and we're going to be hitting on that hard. So I hope to see you later, Fox. Miss Rowe, good to see you. And we're going to start with this, and we're going to bounce into some other stuff that equals up. Hopefully, for those of you that aren't familiar, this will give you a little insight into it.
It's been nearly a year since Summer Wells disappeared from her Hawkins County home. Family members say they saw Summer June 15th after she helped her mother and grandmother in the garden. In the last 11 months, there have been dozens of searches spanning hundreds of acres, still no answers. Today, we reached out to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, who says it's still working with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. The agency said, quote, "At this time, there are no new developments to provide. However, agents and detectives will continue to follow up on all potential leads," end quote. A statewide Amber Alert remains active tonight. If you have a credible tip, call 1-800-TBI.
Okay, so I didn't give you a whole lot there. Hang on here. I guess we'll have to do this. No, this was before I had issues with Brian Enton, so I'm trying to find some of the stuff I had downloaded from before. Bear with this, guys. This is from way back then. And try to ignore who's speaking. I beg of you.
That 5-year-old girl has been missing since June 15th. Her mother, Candace, says that they were planting flowers at the front of the house with Grandma when Summer decided to go back inside the house. Now, that is where her 3 brothers were on the internet, watching TV. And Mom says she then came inside herself and asked the boys, "Where's Summer? Where's your sister?" And those brothers said she'd gone downstairs to play. but nobody could find her in that house. Here is Summer's father, Don Wells, back in June, describing what happened next.
So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since. It's some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea.
Local police and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation spent weeks and weeks searching that property around the house, even bringing in the dive teams to check the bodies of water, as well as issuing an Amber Alert. But here we are, 5 months later, still no sign of Summer Wells. I want to bring in News Nation's Brian Enton, who is at the Sheriff's Department in Rogersville, Tennessee. That's where Summer Wells went missing. Okay, Brian Enton, you do this better than anybody else. Just get me up to speed on the investigation. Where are we at?
Well, unfortunately, basically nothing has changed in 5 months since Summer Wells went missing. I was inside the building behind me, the sheriff's office today, sat down with the sheriff, and that was probably the most jaw-dropping thing I heard since we got here. I asked him, since Summer went missing 5 months ago, what sort of progress have you made? Are there any new nuggets? Is there any lead? Is there anything? And he said flat out, no. They have no new leads. And he said, everything is on the table right now. And every single person involved in this case, he considers a person of interest.
Well, that's upsetting. Kids and people don't just go, vanish. They don't just go poof. They're somewhere. It's whether they're alive or dead somewhere. And, we have lots of tools to figure that out. Go back to the dad for a minute, because we talked about mom and grandma out planting flowers and the boys.
We're covering multiple things like we do in the morning show, Tom Jones, but we'll be back this afternoon in a second show to do nothing but Idaho, just so you're,
inside doing, what boys do on their phones and TV. Where was dad and what's his story?
So the dad, Don Wells, he was at work. He works as a drywaller. He was not there when Summer went missing. He says he got the call and he rushed home and he saw his other kids, who have since been taken away by social services, by the way, because I'm not sure if you've seen the inside of their house, Ashley. It was a real mess when all of this went down. Very, very unsafe for children. But the dad was not there, comes home, sees his other boys out looking for Summer. And basically, you summed it up. The mom claims that Summer was outside, went back in the house. The grandmother was also on the property. Summer suddenly goes missing. They're looking around and she literally vanishes. What the parents believe is that she may have wandered out of the house. They say that she was abducted. And that is what they think, either kidnapped or abducted, and that she went down a very steep ravine behind the house. But I was out at the house today and yesterday. The ravine is so steep, it's in the middle of nowhere. And the sheriff says it. I mean, it's not, they don't believe at this point there's any evidence to show that this was an abduction, because it's just, it's so strange that this would happen at this one house in the middle of nowhere on the side of a hill in Tennessee.
So I'm just going to go back like a gazillion years, like 20 years to Elizabeth Smart going missing. I said the same thing. I was outside, the Smart's house, and I said, little girls just don't vanish from their beds. I smell a rat. And there was a ravine going the other way, a steep upward ravine outside back of their house. And it turned out Elizabeth was up there, and she could hear people screaming for her, calling out her name. And she was captured by two evil boogeymen, a man and a woman who kept her for 9 months. And so I've changed my tune a lot on the fact that, weird, completely unbelievable abductions, they do happen. They happen to Mark Kloss. They happen to Ed Smart. They do happen. But let's go back to that house. You said inside it's not a good scene. But is there anything that investigators or even the parents can point to that suggests someone came in that house and somehow drove up that big circular driveway without them seeing, and then somehow took Summer off into those, I guess, thick woods where they wouldn't have their car? I mean, none of it really logistically makes sense from a pragmatic, state. So what's the theory on how someone might have abducted her out of the house?
Well, according to the parents, when the search dogs were out there, they traced a scent from Summer down the steep ravine, not near the driveway, but down the steep ravine out to a more of a main road below. So the parents' working theory is there may have perhaps been a car parked down below, that someone got Summer up by the house, took her down this steep ravine, got her in the car, and then took off. And you're right, anything is possible. The sheriff said anything is possible. He said he has hope that she could still be alive somewhere. That's why we're hoping people take a look at her picture. Could she still be in the state of Tennessee? Could she have been human trafficked in another part of the country? He says anything is possible at this point.
Oh, I just hate even thinking that. Like, I don't want my head to go into that space at all. You know, maybe I'm Pollyanna about this, but you say traffic and I just think, God, she's 5. Okay. So the red truck, the business about the red truck, you know, they're saying it's like a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma. That's pretty specific, with a bed ladder rack along with white buckets in the truck bed. Who saw that and was so smart to get all that information and then remember it and then actually regurgitate it? Whose information is that?
So it was a witness in the area who believes they saw that red truck. Another neighbor also says that she thinks that she heard a scream around the time Summer went missing. So, of course, those were some of the things we brought up to the sheriff today. He said, yes, they're looking for the red truck, but he wanted to be clear, that's just something else they're looking into. They're not sure if that is really someone connected to the case. Could it have just been someone driving by? Was there even really a red truck? They don't know. They want people to be on the lookout, but it's not like they've got some kind of concrete lead that there is an abductor who is in that red truck. He says they're not anywhere near close to that right now.
Okay, so you had a chance to talk to Dawn Wells. This is what I really want to get into, Brian, and we've got several bits and pieces, but I want to start at the top with the question about, I don't know, I think he's alluding to the idea that maybe Summer's mom doesn't hang with a good crowd, but dig into that for me and give me what it was he said about that.
Yeah, let me set this up for you a little bit, Ashley. The Wells, Candace, and Dawn were on Dr. Phil last week. Dawn, the dad, says Candace did not want to go on TV. They had to really push her to fly out to California and go on the show and say that it was in the best interest of Summer to get the word out. So they go on the show, and at one point during the Dr. Phil interview, when they're asking her questions, she breaks down, she takes the microphone off, and she leaves. A lot of people following this case have questioned, including the sheriff himself, does Candace Wells know something about what happened? Not necessarily something that she did to her daughter, but does she know something about what happened that she is perhaps not sharing with authorities? And that sort of was the basis for my questioning of Dawn Wells. Take a listen. Is it possible that something happened to Summer that Candace knows about that's not her fault, but she is just nervous now and feeling bad about it?
Well, no, because she knows better. She would know to go directly to law enforcement. An accident's one thing. She would never do something like that. She knows better than that. I know it happens. It does happen with people, but no. She would go directly to law enforcement. She'd call an ambulance right away, number one, do anything. She would freak out. I mean,
could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but
no.
You know what I mean?
No.
Fuck 'em stitches.
No. She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is, it happens.
So, Brian, what did that mean? Sometimes she chooses some wrong friends. That was kind of a sketchy thing to say.
Yeah, and for people who follow this case, and there are a lot of people online who follow this case very closely, that is what they picked up on. He has not said that before. And the question is, what did he mean by wrong friends? I pushed him on that. He wouldn't really elaborate and sort of change the subject. But yes, that
Good
was
points,
interesting part to
ATS.
us. And even the sheriff today, when I interviewed him, said, yeah, that was interesting. We haven't necessarily heard that before.
You just mentioned something I think is super important. And the fact is that the kids were removed from the home. The other 3 brothers were removed from the home. Give me a little bit more on that, because that doesn't just happen because one child goes missing. Like the Smarts kids weren't all removed from their home. There were 5 kids. They stayed with the Smarts, the other 4. So why were these kids taken out?
By the way, this was years ago, folks, when this first went down. So all but one of those kids have been adopted out. They were never given back. The boys, I think Josie's the oldest one. He's still not been adopted out, but the others have been. They're gone. They were adopted away. They were never going back. Thank you, ATS. I appreciate that very much. And yes, I agree. Hey, Wade, good to see you. We're going to be talking about that this afternoon, Wade, on the secondary show we do. Make sure you guys all come back for that. I just got some other stuff I want to update on today first, and then we'll get to that other stuff in the Idaho case this afternoon. You're okay, Krista. Don't worry about it.
That's a very good question. Bottom line, we don't know. It's all confidential because they're underage, and the case has actually been put under gag order. We weren't even able to ask Don Wells about that, or he could get in trouble. So we don't know exactly why they were taken away.
Interesting. Okay. And then just the last question. And it's about, I think it was only like 2 weeks ago, you alluded to the criminal backgrounds of mom and dad. I mean, dad's got multiple felonies. He served prison time for drugs and burglaries. He's had multiple parole violations. Mom has criminal record in the state of Wisconsin. Most recently, she pleaded guilty to misdemeanor domestic abuse in 2003. But then dad, it appears, may have gotten a DUI just like 2 weeks ago. What's up? What's going on?
So he claims that he,
My understanding, Michelle, for one, the house was horrible inside. There were cockroaches. The house was a mess. Supposedly there was not ever enough or the right amount or types of food in the home. There was neglect issues, so on and so forth. Is why they were taken away initially, but they never did get them back, even though they did. And the house was not a place that they were in the basement. Summer's bedroom was in the basement on the floor. There was a mattress thrown on the floor, and that's it. It was not a home for kids, basically. So, welcome, Carolyn. Good to see you.
Is stressed about the case, obviously having a hard time handling his daughter being away, and made a mistake. And again, if you go and you listen to some of these YouTube shows that he comes on in the middle of the night, early in the morning, you can clearly tell that he sounds very different than the man that I interviewed in the afternoon yesterday. So there are definitely some demons there. And I think that this family is obviously having a hard time with what they're going through with their daughter being gone.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below.
Okay, so that's kind of a quick, gives you a little bit of an insight. And let me show you this here real quick. For those of you that were newer to this. This was the first, after Summer went missing, the first ever interview that was done with her parents. Okay? And you guys can kind of, I guess, make your own, take out of it whatever you will.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and
I remember that,
she got
ATS.
a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently.
I agree, Stitch.
But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. I mean, if you're not a suspect, at least
Welcome,
come forward
Aries.
and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave her
back
head
and make
herself.
it. I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head to so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. You know, I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to.
He did.
They have to go through their.
I remember it very clearly.
I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, you know, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, you know, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, you know, in the eastern United States or whatever.
Oh, hang on, guys. I don't know what just happened there. Sorry.
Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, you know, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
It means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. But, yeah, there's always going to be haters, you know, and you know, it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, you know, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
the most important thing is to bring Summer home safe. I'm sorry that you feel.
Well, it's what was put out to the public. Taylor says that Don had called CSB and asked them to come get the boys because he didn't feel comfortable with them being there with her. I guess. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I had never seen that. But what they put out to the public was that there was neglect as far as like feeding and the house being the way it was, and there were rats and cockroaches and things inside the home that should not have been. Like I said, the bedrooms, Summer's bedroom was in the basement. There was a queen size mattress thrown on the floor. There weren't even sheets on it when they showed it. in the corner of the basement. That was her bed. There's a couple toys down there, and the boys had some kind of bunk bed thing built over another corner. They were all in the same room, which is not allowed either. But I think there was many different little issues that went with it. Um, and then she goes missing. Okay, and that I think CSB was supposed to be there the day after she went missing, and there was a whole thing with it. And then they had to redo the inside of the house, fix the walls, and all sorts of things because the entrance to the kid's bedroom was behind a counter, like under a countertop in the kitchen. It was weird, and it's just strange, the whole thing. And it was a rigmarole of a bunch of different stuff. So, and then yeah, her sister, Rose, went missing years before too, which was another weird thing we found out. But they were there the day before. I thought it was the day after. It's been 4 years, guys, so bear with me. I thought they were coming the day supposed to be, there was an appointment for them to come back the day after. Maybe they were there the day before, but they were supposed to come back the day after or something. I don't remember 100%, guys. It's been a long time, like I said. So it was just a lot of things I had heard were put out to us as the reasoning why. But like I said, that's all said and done. The two younger boys have been adopted. They were adopted out together into one home. And I think because Josie was older, it's harder to adopt older kids. I think he's 15 or 16 now. He's in line to be adopted now. He's doing okay from my understanding. Definitely better than he was doing there. And I don't remember or recall ever hearing about any physical abuse, but I don't know.
Feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl." And she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired, But I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House, My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa, and
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it, when you're young. And she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church, or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that. I hope she gets to come home, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to women that were.
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional, that
was pretty, beautiful.
She looked up to those kind of women. She, they were the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money. And there was times, we'd be, at our boys, like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, a stick would come up and just whop them, and it'd be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family. She,
Typical girl.
when they get on the line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. You know, she loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her 2 hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she in school yet?
No,
No.
she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year.
She's been. We did all the what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school for ready for this year.
I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands, and I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
Your little girl.
If there's any way if you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and you know, and us, and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please
Welcome, Luce.
let her come home. That my biggest fear is, you know, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? You know, go get Summer now." You know, and that's happened over and over again.
Now, afterwards, folks, for like a year or more, the parents ended up going on live streams, really intoxicated on different things, alcohol, certain drugs, things like that. A lot of people were saying that Candace seemed like she was on something here. She could have been. I don't know. There was a lot of drama that surrounded all this. For those of you that weren't familiar, some violent things said through him. He'd get drunk on a live and start screaming and yelling, breaking things. In the background, she's on there crying and she's saying things. They didn't handle things very well, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. At this point, I haven't seen any of that years later. But there's still a lot of questions, a lot of strange questions with this case that just never added up, ever. The interviews that were done after the fact with other people involved in this, the day that Summer went missing, were questionable to say the least. They did get the house fixed. They did. He does drywall. That's his thing. Okay, so they went in and fixed the walls, and there were people that helped him do it. They got the house to look like a place. There were after pictures I saw that it was decent looking, and cleaned up things and so on and so forth. They were forced to clean up the yard, from my understanding, because there was a lot of just like recycled junk laying around, machinery, refrigerators, stuff like that. So they were forced to clean up the property, from my understanding, from the county after they all went there, and so on and so forth. But then there was a lot of shady people that got involved in this. There's a lot of shady people that were involved in this. The neighbors, I have questions about. There's somebody that was involved that said she heard some stuff. Jody Sue Brown, I've had questions about her from the beginning, and her son mostly. She has a son named Damien. I questioned him. But now there's other things coming out, okay, about this. And that's why we're doing updates on it today. And I'm trying to keep it, I try to bring it back up every so often, because it's definitely what I consider a cold case. It's been very quiet. But oh yeah, that was another thing too that happened, which that speaks to the type of people, in a sense, in my opinion, that they can be. Candace calls Dawn's sister crying uncontrollably, saying it was a joke. It was a joke. Okay, who does this while your child's missing? Candace called Dawn's sister. I can't remember her name, Marianne, I think, or something like that. Okay, and she's crying, crazy, freaking out, saying that Dawn was arrested and they're taking him to pass him over to the cartel and weird shit like this, and then said, "Oh, it was a joke." What? What? Your child's missing and you're doing this. There's a lot of drinking, okay? A lot of drinking going on. If that's how they dealt with it, so be it, whatever. But you're doing this during your child's missing, okay? You're doing this during that period of time, and I just think that was the wrong way to handle it, but whatever. There were other things that came out about him and his sister or sisters that were very not good things. I'll put it that way. That went on when they were younger. So of course people took that into account and automatically thought, because of other statements that were made, there were statements made that he showered with the Summer and things like that. So, and that they all slept in the same bed. People made assumptions, and you know how these cases go, folks. Things came out about that and just issues, and it was just a horrible case, the whole thing. Still, she's still missing. It still is. And all of those things, just like with Koberger's case, were based off of one statement made turns into multiple rumors. You know how that goes. Hey, Scott, what's happening, brother? So it's been a mess. Okay. And I've always had certain questions because it doesn't make any sense how she went missing. They went to a swimming hole. There's an interview with the grandmother I'm going to show you. That's strange as well. I just wanted to show you as much as I could for those of you that weren't familiar, and to catch us, some of us up that were.
And we'd come out, and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
Yep. And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, I'm locked away where she can't be outside, or
we're gonna get into that too, Candy. Good to see you there.
Love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive, because it's so easy to get.
He did. Aries, I agree. Another reason why I don't like him.
So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say, and your prayers. That's awesome.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing that, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
All right, so there's that.
Great to have you with us here on.
Okay, let me get to this other situation here. This just broke my heart. This case did, because she's such a sweet little girl. Here we go. Hang on. And so this is a bit of an interview with her name is Grandis because her name is Candace, just like the mother's name was, her daughter. And then we'll move on to the new stuff that's out there.
Another story at 6, day 2, and a planned search for missing 6-year-old Summer Wells is now over.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said teams scaled previously identified points of interest in Hawkins County. The agency says much of the area where Summer disappeared requires extra time to search thoroughly. They say it's extremely steep and dangerous. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniels spoke with Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, the lead investigator in the case.
Yeah, Ansley, the sheriff told you today that Summer's family now currently is not cooperating with law enforcement?
That's exactly right, Josh and Sarah. He also told me that the family has attorneys. Now, he did tell me that he didn't want to speak any further on the matter, but I did have the chance to speak with Summer Wells' mother and grandmother at the home where she disappeared earlier today. And her grandmother told me that she wanted to address the sheriff's comments about them not cooperating, as well as whether or not they have an attorney. And this was the first time that we have spoken with her on camera since her granddaughter went missing.
Mr. Lawson stated that Candace and the whole family is lawyered up. I can't speak for Donnie, and I know Candace hasn't because she's told me she hasn't, and I have not. If law enforcement wants to talk to me, TBI wants to talk to me, they have my phone number. They know when I leave the state. They know when I'm here.
Summer Wells' grandmother, Candace Hare, says she hasn't spoken with law enforcement since December 13th.
They have not contacted me since the YouTubers were down here in the driveway. And
now is another mess. She's talking about Bullhorn Betty and JLR and Molly Golightly and that whole group down there screaming at the end of the driveway at the family, accusing them of doing what they did. Same thing they did with Sebastian. Same thing they did with Quentin Simon. The same thing they always did, that group of people. Mostly Bullhorn Betty and her big mouth. But yeah, that's what that was all about, that she's talking about. They were there with every case they've been at, screaming and yelling at the parents and the families and not knowing for sure 100% what's going on, and making the YouTube world look bad is what they've always done. So, hey, JC, good to see you, dear.
asked him about trespassing.
Summer's grandma was with her granddaughter all day on June 15th, the day she disappeared. She walked me through what they did that day and said she and Summer were repotting cactus plants outside of her camper, and then
Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, "Mama, I want to go play with the boys." Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
As the 9-month mark of when her granddaughter was reported missing approaches, she says the social media and online rumors have to stop.
If they want to help, that's great. But if they want to spread lies, that's a different story. Because that's all they're doing now is spreading lies. They're reaching and trying to figure out what lie can we spread now. And I'm tired of it.
I have one too, Chet, but I don't use it.
Now, Summer's mother, Candace Bly, did not want to go on camera. However, she did write this statement for us on my notepad. You see it right there on your screen as well. It says, "I've never stopped talking to law enforcement. No, I have not lawyered up. I don't understand why this is being said. I can't speak for Dawn, and we are willing to do whatever to bring our daughter Summer home. Thanks for all the searchers." Now, she also did not want to address her new YouTube channel, Dr. Phil, or anything other than the comments by the sheriff made earlier today. However, she and her mother, Summer's grandmother, wanted me to reiterate how thankful they were for the searchers who are still out looking for Summer, as well as law enforcement for still keeping this investigation open and fresh. Live in Beach Creek, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
I agree, Chad. I just wanted to make a joke there because I have one too. I'd never use it like they do. Ever. Ever, ever. So that's where we're at with that. from the beginning parts of it, I should say. And then, oh yeah. There's this too. I wanted to show you. This is the person that I was very suspicious of for a long time. I'm not saying that I'm completely not still, but I have issues with her. I always have. That's just me personally. So, her name is Jody Sue Brown. She inserted herself in this from the beginning and really, really did insert herself into this. It started with what we're about to hear here, and then it went on to a whole bunch of, it was insane. So,
Family lives across the street from a neighboring property. On mirroring mountains, together they can be described as sentinels which sit high over Ben Hill Road. The night Summer went missing, the neighbor swears that she and her 2 children heard a scream shortly before they joined the search for a now missing Summer Wells.
It's there, but you want to forget.
On the watch and hypervigilant. That's how Jody Sue Brown was the very day Summer Wells went missing.
There was no TV, no noise at all.
Jody Sue was in her cabin with her teenage kids, 19 and 14, waiting for anything.
We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that had happened the day before. So we were listening for noise. Everything was kind of quiet.
The sale brought a plethora of people to their door, confused about which piece of land was for sale, leading to a dispute of property lines.
While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway. Something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
Stopped all 3 of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all 3 were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't an animal.
That vigilance kicking into overdrive. Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream.
My son and I decided to go out, look and see what we could see. We went back onto the bank. Didn't see anything. Didn't hear anything.
They went on with their evening. The kids returned to being kids. Jody Sue headed down her driveway around 6 to tend to flowers.
And at this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went, scream earlier, this, uh-oh.
Jody Sue was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer.
I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking.
Jody Sue searched one side of a creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side.
And you gave statements to the police, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream often. But the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint.
I've always had issues with this guy too. Ronnie Lawson was the sheriff here, and I just not comfortable with the way he did things here. And him himself, I have issues with. So again, that's what I always said, is it could have been Candace screaming at realizing something was not right. So,
her information related to this case.
Jody Sue wishes she could go back to just a short time before Summer disappeared and before the scream she believes was Summer.
I wish every day that when I heard that scream, I hadn't tried to dismiss it.
Referencing the work of the FBI, TBI, and his own deputies, Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson reiterated in an interview the same week as Jody Sue's that investigators have found absolutely no proof that an abduction has taken place. In the Beach Creek community, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
So that's another person. And there's plenty more of this. Neighbors that got involved, so on and so forth. Here, let me show you this too, since I did explain part of it. Hang on. And you're going to have to excuse who's on here. We all know that I'm not a big fan of his. I don't like him. He was there. I think he caused some problems. Yes, Chet, I'm going to. I believe he caused some problems in this case as well. This is, again, my opinion. And they're going to show when he went there, when they went inside the house, one of the reasons why it's believed that the kids were taken.
Candace filed for an order of protection against her husband, Don, saying that she was afraid of being hurt. She was afraid for those kids. That was likely part of why they were removed from the home. How do investigators take that information and also anything the kids might know and try to piece this puzzle together?
Yeah, Marnie, that's a great question. So, you know, with a 5-year-old child, obviously time is of the essence. So the first officer on the scene quickly wants to assess, you know, who had last contact, what were those conditions in relationship to that contact, how much time has elapsed before the last person saw the child. And so immediately you want to start talking to the parents and you want to try to separate them. And as you go along, you know, trying to get the information initially about the child, then the parent's background becomes significant in relationship to an investigative process as more resources are arriving on the scene.
Chris, police say that there was no evidence of foul play, yet they issued an Amber Alert. How can they be so sure?
Well, that's a great question. The investigative process is still, you know, ongoing. It could be an accident. It could be, you know, something, you know, an intentional act of some sort. I think the investigators, and we heard Sheriff Lawson even say today, that everything is still on the table.
You have been in contact with the parents, Don and Candace. Are you still in touch with them now?
Not currently, no.
What's the deal with this red truck? It is potentially a piece of this puzzle. Have you heard anything about the truck? Has it led to any evidence or information for investigators?
Well, at this point, TBI has reported that the red truck, they want to try to contact that individual who may have been driving. There is a witness who is really vague about whether it was around the area on the 14th or the 15th. So it could have been the day before or the day of Summer's disappearance. However, I think what they want to do is just check the box to eliminate that truck. They have eliminated a lot of red trucks in that area.
How closely would investigators be looking at family and friends of both Candace and Don, this inner circle of people that they know, especially given the fact that Don has admitted that they had some wrong friends, or at least Candace did?
That would be significant. And you want to, you know, again, you want to look at the abduction theory and you have to think, you know, how high of a risk would a subject who would want to, you know, take a child, a 5-year-old, how high of a risk would that suspect take? And in that terrain and coming up that hill with the information that Summer between 2 and 10-minute time frame was in that basement, you know, the universe would have to be 100% on schedule for all those stars to align. So that's where you want to start, you know, shifting your focus in relationship to, you know, taking a look at the inner circle, who had access to that property and or who had access to the parents.
Chris, 5 months is a long time for this little girl to be missing. As more time goes by, how optimistic are you that this case is solvable, that we can find Summer and bring her home safely?
Well, I'm always optimistic. You know, statistically, though, you know, that optimism starts to dwindle. However, I do believe this case will be solved. I think they have the correct resources on it with TBI, FBI, as well as the Hoxton County Sheriff's Department in the lead. And I, like you and the rest of the nation, are praying. I'm praying that they do find her alive.
I share in that prayer. It has our attention. It has the attention of a lot of people on social media. And those folks on social media are relentless, as are we. Chris McDonough, we appreciate your time and, as always, your insight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe.
All right, so that was McDonough and his insight into this. He did an interview with the other people that were involved and with her that day and her family that day. So, I don't know, guys. I have issues with him for multiple reasons. I will say one thing, though. He's definitely been looking and calling out the prosecution, looking at and calling out the prosecution in the Goberger case. So there's that. So next, let's get to some newer stuff here that's just popped up. Give me a minute here. Oh, wow. Congrats. Happy day anniversary, Miss Christie. Almost a year, 11 months. That's awesome. Super excited for you there. Let me see here. I got a couple things that I found. Let's go back to this one here first. This is when they started something new recently. Okay, this was put out 3 weeks ago. They were talking about the new search that TBI was planning for summer. 3 weeks back. Hang on a minute. Congrats and welcome to the sauce, Aries. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate another meatball in the sauce, helping us spill that sauce every day. We appreciate having you here. Welcome to the family, Aries. All right, guys, let's see what this is all about here. Somebody actually sent this to me a while back. I didn't go through the whole thing, but it explains a little bit more about more recent events that are going on or were started a while back. So here we go.
An Amber Alert was issued, and the search for her has been ongoing for 4 years, leading to one of the most exhaustive and involved missing child cases that the TBI has ever investigated. The search for Summer has involved extensive efforts, including ground searches, aerial searches, and tracking dogs. The TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office continue to investigate, follow up on leads, and address misinformation. We hope this video provides meaningful insight into what happened to Summer Wells.
There it is, Summer Moon Utah Wells. Summer has been missing since June 15, 2021. This is a picture the TBI released.
Looks like it may be showing what it should look like now.
Yeah, I kind of like am into it. Like, it's just so fascinating to me. I don't know. It's just the most bizarre. It's like really, if you really look into it, you'll go down a rabbit hole. And I've been down that rabbit hole many times.
Hello, everyone. This is John Ward with Appalachian Channel, and this is Olivia with Chronicles of Olivia. I'm going to be interviewing her and following along with her today as she investigates a case. She's going to tell you about that. Her channel, Chronicles of Olivia on YouTube, has over 400,000 subscribers, and she is a true crime investigator. She goes all over the United States wherever things are happening, and she also has over 1 million followers on TikTok. So we started working together in North Carolina last year and worked on several projects there, and then she's been here to Tennessee, and we worked about a month ago for a few days, and then
congrats, Trish. Happy day anniversary.
My first
I didn't
guest
know it's
here
been that long.
on
It's been
the
zero. Wow.
show at the Appalachian Channel Studios. So Olivia, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today.
So today I'm going to be taking John to go on the property. We're just going to drive by on the road. But it's interesting to see because it's the home where Summer was living in is perched on the top of a bit of a mountain, I would say. It's a hill, and it's covered in forest. This time of the year, the leaves are dense, you can't look through, but the first time I ever went to the property a couple years ago, this was several weeks.
By the way, this is Olivia with Chronicles of Olivia. Sorry, guys, I should have said that.
Maybe it was maybe 3 months after Summer went missing. I have to look back in my footage, but it was when the leaves were on the ground, so you could see through the trees and you could clearly see the house perched up on the hill there, and you could see all these toys, kids' toys, like a little kids, like you sit on it and it's like a little scooter thingy, other little things. There was some trash on the hill. It was just so eerie to see these kids' toys like scattered up, and it's a steep hill. You could definitely fall on there pretty easily. And at the very bottom, there's a creek. And apparently the TBI is wanting to search, I think, the creek or kind of farther down on the property. But they have 11 acres of land, and it's secluded. Ben Hill Road it turns off of Beach Creek, and it's this skinny road, and it's a dead-end road. So I've always been, I always think to myself, if someone did abduct Summer, it's such a secluded road, it almost appears that it would make more sense that someone, if they abducted her, knew her, or like knew where, had to have known where they were living. I don't think it was a drive-by random thing, because of just how that road is so, and we're going to show you just how secluded it is. Also, she vanished in June when the leaves are out in the trees, so you can't see the property at all. It's like hidden. So it's almost like, I think it's almost impossible to just be driving and think, oh, I'm just going to go down this random hill and abduct a child. It's like that person, if she was abducted, had to have known that there was a child living there, just because you can't just drive by and see the house. It's hidden on a hill, secluded. That's an observation that I have. But I will say that something I find very interesting is that Jody Sue, the neighbor, I'm not sure if she still lives there, it's been a few years, but a news
She moved from there since then, a while back, long while back.
Station did an interview with her and her son, and they talked about how on the day Summer vanished, they heard a high-pitched animalistic scream come from the property, and that's their exact words, animalistic scream. So what was it that they heard? Was it a wild animal? Was it a mountain lion scream? Was it a woman screaming? Was it Candace screaming because she saw something?
I forgot to grab these. Looks like Denise, hold on, give me 1 minute here. Denise gifted 5 memberships. Wow, you guys, it's amazing. Hang on here. 1 second. 1 second. Come on, Dago. There we go. All right, so it looks like Denise sent 5 memberships. 6 cents. Amelia got 1. Crime Solver. Gia Brabender received 1. Sammy de Karamit Activity got 1. And Angie S received 1. And I think there was some put out before that. There was, or no, wait, hold on. Aries dropped 5 memberships as well. Thank you so much, both of you. Hang on here. I didn't get a chance because I was... There we go. Thank you so much, Aries and Denise, both. Just Amber received 1 from Aries, Deanna, Sunny Days, Melon, and Duckman. All welcome to the sauce from all of you, and I appreciate you both so very much for that. God bless. So very nice and very sweet of you guys. Very generous. God bless. And that gave us a total of 11 new members so far, guys. 11 new meatballs jumping in the sauce with us today. That's awesome to you both. Thank you so much. Very, very generous. Very much appreciated. Amazing stuff. Denise and Aries both. God bless. Thank you, Christy. There's the link for Miss Christy's channel. Guys, please go check it out if you would. Here we go.
That happened to Summer, who knows? But I've always thought about this scream, and I'm sure you guys can comment down below what you think this scream was that the neighbor heard coming from Summer's property.
Oh, sorry, Elliot. Guys, make sure you click down the bottom of your chat. There's a little $sign inside a square box. Click on that and make sure you can receive gift ship a member receive gifts, but that way you can receive the memberships when they are gifted out. Thank you, Christy, for dropping Molly's link as well. Please go check out Miss Molly's channel as well, guys. So very talented. And Molly does all the videography and stuff for this channel. We appreciate her very much. So go check it out. And welcome. Yes, Denise, welcome to the family, all you new meatballs. We appreciate you very much.
And it was around the time that Summer had already gone home, because a couple years ago I did an interview with my friends with the mother of Hunter. Now Hunter is the 15-year-old boy. He's now 19, but when he was 15, on that day that Summer vanished at the watering hole at Warriors State Park, he was hanging out with Candace and Summer. And when they left the watering hole, Candace dropped Hunter off at his mom's house, Allie. Rest in peace, Allie. She passed away from health issues, I think, a year or two ago. But my friends and I interviewed Allie before she died. And she said that it was around 2, I think it was like 2 o'clock or 2:30. I have to look back and see, when Candace dropped off.
This guy is John Ward. They kind of collaborated for this, I guess, and that's why he's on here as well. Sorry, guys.
Hunter, and Candace wouldn't let Allie say goodbye to Summer, which Allie thought was strange, that she would always go to the car and like hug Summer and say bye. But that particular day, Allie, according to Allie, what she said in this interview, she said that Candace didn't want her to go to the car or like see Summer or like say bye to her, which Allie thought was very strange. Another thing Allie had said is that Hunter was very off. He didn't seem right, and that he wasn't the same after that.
And I'm going to, after she's telling this part of the story, I'm going to scrub through this so that we don't have to sit through the whole thing and show you the parts that I was going to show you. Sorry.
And we also talked to his grandmother and great-grandmother, and they said the same thing, that he was very off and just acting strange, and like there was something really weighing on him and bothering him. So that is just something that is strange. But anyways, so according to Candace in an interview with Dr. Phil, they had gone home and Summer went to she was going to plant flowers, and Grandis, who is Candace's mom, Summer's grandmother, was also on the property, and Summer went down to the basement because that's where her room was, because she wanted to play with some toys or grab some toys. And if you watch Chris McDonough's YouTube video where he goes inside the home of the Wells, you can kind of get an idea of how the Wells home looks like. And the basement where Summer's room was, there's a door that in the basement, there's a door that exits to the outside. And I remember Allie telling my friends and I that
there were a lot of lies told throughout this entire thing, folks. There were issues between the Wells and Allie and her family, and that they were arguing, so they were being vindictive with each other on both sides of the track. So it was hard to believe what one was saying about the other, and so on and so forth. I mean, it was just, this whole thing has been a mess. Okay, a mess. So thank you, Christy. Great stuff today. Appreciate you. So yeah. There's been a lot, and Allie's dead. Yes, she passed away a couple years back from health issues. She is Hunter's mother, so it's hard to tell. Like it's like she was mad at Candace and Dawn, so therefore she was going to make things. You know what I'm saying? So you take it with a grain of salt. A lot of it.
that door was always like, she remembered the last time she had seen the door, there was a couch like pushed against it, where it was like there was like something against it where it couldn't open or something. I have to look back at my interview, but I just remember that being a thing where the door was like kind of barricaded down there. Who knows if it was still barricaded at the time Summer went missing, but that was an observation that Hunter's mom, Allie, had mentioned. But there is that door in the basement, so it is possible Summer could have walked out that door and maybe met with foul play and someone or something abducted her. Who knows? But that's the story that Candace tells in the Dr. Phil interview, is that Summer went down in the basement, play with some toys, or with her brothers or something, and the brothers never saw her and she vanished. So that's the story that her parents claim, that she was abducted. She just vanished into you can see the property at the top of the hill. But
You know, the one thing I gotta say is this area is such a beautiful area. The wooded area, it's just so beautiful. The trees, the mountains, everything is absolutely beautiful. But with this mess going on around it, it takes a lot away from it.
we're going to turn into Ben Hill here, and there's a creek that kind of runs along the property. I need you to up. Okay, so I'm just putting on my mic and having Mom film me. Do you want the actually, you know what? Can you please hand me over the DJI, the stick, the other one? Thank you. Ben Hill Road, it's dead end, and I'll kind of show you. But private property, 24-hour surveillance. This is the street right here. And look at that driveway. If you zoom in there, John, I mean, you can't really tell through the.
So this is the driveway going up to the Wells house. This down here, this area at the bottom is where all the Bullhorn and Olivia JLR and all them were at, screaming and yelling. Benny Keys was here. He actually stayed at the house with them, I think, for a while. A couple other creators, Ernie was there. I can't think of his last name right now. He's nuts. That was a crazy situation. There was a lot. There was a whole lot, guys. Good stuff, JC. Thank you, hon. So, this is the entrance to the driveway to the home.
Video, but it's pretty, like, you need four-wheel drive to drive up that thing. There's a bunch of grooves in that driveway. And looks like they have a sign, some new signs I haven't seen before.
Looks like they got something for packages.
Yeah, they've had that forever there, that blue bin.
People bring stuff and drop it off.
Mm-hmm. But you can see how quiet it is. At the time, they had a lot of dogs, so it makes you wonder when she disappeared, or if she was abducted. Like, wouldn't you think that the dogs would have, like, barked or something, you know? And so Jody Sue, the neighbor, I think she lived, like...
From my understanding, Aries, they're in a relationship, I guess. Junior, not the senior, but junior. Hey, Dunwan, good to see you.
On this side,
yeah, Ernie Shell, that was his last name. Sorry, guys.
one of these places here, I don't know if she still lives there or not, but I wonder.
So the thought was at some point too, just to show you a little bit real quick, that back here, they're up on this hill, okay? That Summer either made her way down through these woods, down this dog trail to the road and was taken there, or somebody made their way up through there with 75 dogs up there, not barking. I still don't believe that. And the door that Summer to her room in the basement was open, and that they either went in and took her and came back down through here, again, without alerting the dogs, or she came out of that room and was in the yard and somebody was standing up in this area kind of hiding and watching for her and grabbed her and came back down to a truck or car parked on the road and took off with her. That's kind of what the theory was from the family, the parents. I have issues with that theory because there were 700 dogs up there that anytime anybody was around, the dogs were going nuts. Okay. Dolly was there too. Yes, he was down there too, screaming, "Where's the baby?" So I just struggle with the way this is. It's very hard to get through there. There is a dog trail, they call it, that you can go up through, but it's still it's very rugged terrain. It's hard to get up in there. And so for Summer to come up and down that hill by herself, as little as she was, I struggled with that a little bit. But somebody else going in there and grabbing her without the dogs going nuts or being seen was another issue I had. So I just never knew how to take that. You know what I mean?
Private property, 24-hour surveillance. This is the street right here, and look.
Sorry, that would be the road right there. So they're saying she came down off this area here, folks. I'm sorry, down off this hill, down through here, or somebody came down through there and took her without nobody seeing or hearing a damn thing. The Jody Sue lived right over here to the right, down on the backside of this. So just so everybody knows. Hey, Moonlight, good to see you.
Look at that driveway. If you zoom in there, John, I mean, you can't really tell through the video, but it's pretty like, you need four-wheel drive to drive up that thing. There's a bunch of grooves. But yeah, I mean, look at these woods. Lots of woods out here. I assume all of this was searched. That over there, that street down there, there's like, I think a trailer down there. Look, there's another sign right here about Summer. You can zoom in there. And Mom, are you dizzy? Are you okay? Okay, we're almost done. So this is a dead end. It's actually very beautiful back here. Look at this creek. There's this creek. And I remember there was someone living over here there's several different houses down here. But this is just to show you guys the terrain surrounding the Wells property. So all of this area is pretty critical because it's when someone goes missing, the 1 mile radius from where the point they went missing from is important, because there could be evidence or whatnot. You never know. Let's see here. And I wonder what all these people think. I wonder what the neighbors think about what happened out here. I wonder. So it looks like this is a dead end right here. I'm going to actually turn around here. I don't want to go too deep in here.
So you were here about 2 years ago, though?
I've come here like every year since 2021.
Oh, okay. So you've been here multiple times.
I've been here many times, and I've been here at different times of the year. So I've seen it in the winter time when the leaves are off the trees, where you can really see the property. And what I'll actually do, John, is I'll give you the footage that I have where you can see when the leaves are off the trees, so that the people watching this video can have a perspective of that. But what's crazy is, like, she vanished June 15th, and right now it's July 7th, so we're like in the same time frame that she vanished from. So what you're seeing right now, guys, is how it looked like when she vanished. And you can't really see the property at all. It is so secluded. It's so hidden. You would never know that there was even a house back there. And that's what makes it so weird is, if she was abducted, how did the person even know there was even anyone living up that, gravel driveway? How did anyone even know there was a child to even abduct? if it was just a drive-by, you know? It's just strange.
Do you know how long she had been down in the basement before they realized she was missing?
The Candace did never ever talked about that. She just said she went down there and then, or she was going down to the basement, and they just never saw her again. There's of course different sides of the story. There's people that believe that the parents are involved.
Okay, so that's the Wells property, folks, and they're talking about a new TBI planning to in the area around it. TBI planning on doing new searches and so on and so forth. Thank you, Christy. And so that's why we were looking at that, just to give everybody a kind of a look at the area and how they believed that, you know, what happened to her, which I can't, I'm unsettled with that. I always have been. I was never real comfortable with that whole thing. So the new thing that we had here is this new story that just came out. Hold on a minute here. And I don't know how valid this is, folks, so bear with it, okay? And then we're moving on to something new. Trying to get it to load, guys. Sorry. We're coming with it. We're coming. Okay, so this was put out by a channel by the name of, this was sent to me too. Killer Looks, I believe it is. And this is explaining this new box story, supposedly, and a couple other things with it. This is what I was kind of giving you guys a heads up on. I don't know what the validity to this is. So absolute, you know, everything about this we're discussing is absolutely alleged and pure speculation, folks, as I say. So let's check this out.
Because when you identify, when the names began to align, so did their efforts to scatter the truth. Because when you identify the moment the distractions began, you also identify the moment the truth was closest to being seen. That's the truth they don't want you to see. They all know each other. They all talk behind the scenes. They run coordinated scripts, fueling drama and distraction while the heart of the case grows colder. This isn't just coincidence, it's preservation. And every name you hear dropped out of nowhere, every sudden reappearance of a player with a new version of events, is part of a script to keep your eyes off the real timeline. You want to find Summer? Stop listening to the noise. Start noticing who is loud and why they are being loud, and who suddenly went silent, why the sudden outbursts from all the others, and to the viewers just waking up to this truth. This case is not cold. It's covered in distractions. The fire is still burning, but only if you can see through the smoke.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
Was 5 years old when she was reported missing from her home in the rugged mountains of Rogersville, Tennessee, on June 15, 2021. Over the last 4 years, we have all heard many different theories on where Summer may be. In the beginning, some claimed she was in a well or septic tank. Then it was said she was inside of a wall in the home. Then under the stairs, some claimed she was in a secret room down in the basement. Others said under the basement. Later on, there were theories of her being buried then moved. Some theories put her remains at one of the job sites Don was working on at the time she was reported missing. There was the infamous barrel she was supposedly in, and we even heard of a possible storage tote she was put in. Talk of her being bricked in the chimney later raised eyebrows. We have all heard about her body being placed in a cave behind a waterfall. As you can see, there have been many claims and theories over the years.
And all of these things were theories that people were putting out. There was no validity to any of them that was found. Is really sad too. But a lot. Oh, hey, Alicia, good to see you, dear. A lot of them, like I said, were just ridiculous. Some of them did make some sense. Some of them could have made some sense, but there was no proof on any of them. So very true.
Of where Summer Wells may be. This next theory seemed new, but only for a short moment.
They had a conversation with someone on the inner circle. Someone within Fred's inner circle. And I could just barely make out the comments about, and you guys are gonna, if you guys have been following all the drama in the recent past, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. The box story. Partial remains in a box. Supposedly, I don't know if it was within, it was people who witnessed this box containing partial remains. I want to say that they did say it was Fred actually showing it, right?
They did.
They said it was Fred showing it.
Yeah.
The box story. So you guys remember the box.
Now, Fred was another neighbor, just like Jody Sue was, that got involved too, inserted himself per se, after he was interviewed by TBI. And he was throwing drama in different directions, just like she was and everybody else was, just like we see in all these cases. This happens all the time now. And so once again, every bit of these things, you gotta carry around a bag of salt with you and take a lot of grains of salt. That's all I'm saying with these stories. So just, this is the new thing. Okay. According to what they're saying, Fred's the one that put this story out, I guess. I'm not sure.
Box story.
But some people don't know about it, right?
I'm telling you now. The story was, so when that box story came out, you guys remember I was kind of pissed off that someone had mentioned that Fred Hill had a box with partial remains in it.
Off and on, when a deer would be hit, I think there was 2 actually total. Some of the bones were still usable. And then, have you seen a little artwork on it?
Now, this is back to Jody Sue Brown, the other neighbor, just so you guys know, so nobody gets confused or lost.
See, to where, like if, you get Dermisted beetles or something like that, right? Or you let, nature take its course, etc., in death boxes and types of things. Then you can take the bones and, decorate them. It's kind of a big thing. It's been a big thing for time. A lot of people have like bull skulls or cow. Yeah. Okay. Well, Etsy, they go on there for like what, $800, $1,000 or more dollars. I thought that was a pretty cool idea when I seen it on Etsy. But then see, the deer stayed in the death box for several years, and I never got around to it because I got sick. So it was still there in the death box. At least what hadn't been drug off by animals and such. It was above ground. There was no whole ass cemetery of anything. All right. Just so you're clear, you got clarification.
Yes, and this is true. What Aries is saying. You're in my head today because I was going to say that next too. That when they brought the dogs in, cadaver dogs, they hit on his truck on his property, and during the one interview that he did on, I think it was she's right, his first interview, he explained that. Then there was nothing else that came from that. So take it for what it is with all of this. Okay. Just trying to keep people updated on what has been said lately, which is wild, but it could be something. Who knows? And yes, there was a footprint was found on Fred's property as well. And like I said, these people all surrounded the Wells property. She did, and so did Fred Hill, who since Fred moved from there and ended up marrying a YouTuber. I think her name was she disappeared from here. I can't remember her she's got a weird name. It's just a one-word name, but it's weird. She was reporting the case too back then, and they're still together now, putting things out and talking about things. It's kind of wild. But Fred Hill was definitely looked at in a Ziggy. Thank you guys. Jesus, you guys got great memories. Ziggy, that was the creator's name, and yeah, absolutely, Alicia, absolutely. Together, they're dangerous, I think. But anyway, he was definitely a person of interest in this case, in my opinion. It should have been because of the way he acted and other things. So, just saying.
On that. So anyway, I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Here, let me put the closed caption up because when Jody Sue talks, it's very hard to understand her. It sounds like she's got a mouthful of marbles. So, just giving you the option to be able to understand it. Yeah, Stitches. One footprint, just like Jack and Lily's.
On Etsy, right? I thought, yeah, I want to do that. Okay. Anyway, Deer was just gonna do what Deer does anyway in a ditch line in East Tennessee, and went with and helped collect that deer, right? And then I put it in a desk box, and it stayed there because I got sick. I never got around to the art project, right? And I mean, it's not weird, it's not strange. Here's a cool, fun fucking fact. You know, we let people know that box was there, even though everything had long been gone, right? Because a deer, it doesn't take it 3 years to rot off, right? Above ground. And we'd had animal stuff and whatnot the years prior because, like, you know, things kept taking off apart because it was above ground, not below.
He's got a different style than I do. And I think it irks me. So I'm talking about killer looks.
That's wild. You're right, Recovery, that there was a footprint too in Sebastian's case. That's crazy that that's happened in 3 different cases. That is very weird. I agree with you on that one. Ziggy also told that Fred told her off camera that dogs hit on his mother's property. Fred said he was hauling off junk off his property, and that, yeah, yep.
I don't know how many of you know Killer Looks channel. He has a style that reminds me of local people in Kingsport, like local gangsters. They like to dress and act and portray a certain image like they're a gangster. Mostly white guys.
Oh, be
I'll
nice.
be honest with you.
Be nice.
No, they do. But I think it's a character he's creating to put together sort of mystery and drama around the case.
Yeah, well, that's what YouTube's all about.
It is. It's his character.
We all have personality.
It's his character. I'm not going to judge him. I wouldn't do it personally. It irks me only because we live around it and we see those people.
Yeah, but it's he's probably just portraying a personality that would, you know, attract certain, you know, a following.
A following.
Yes.
And but for me, it just reminds me. So we are dealing with people like that in the Layla Santinello case, in the Holland Snap case. And so it kind of that's why it rubs me the wrong way, because there are actual bad people here locally who are like that. And
it looks like a lot of people actually like Killer Looks.
Time. Evolve. Period. Let me hear y'all say it. I'm gonna welcome anybody want to brainstorm with Killer. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go down any nugget, any fact. Man, what we ain't gonna do is Tell people
I have no idea who this is, folks, so don't even ask me.
weaknesses, each other's past, like people can't change. Go after each other's children. Go after each other's parents.
I think this is the guy that has the channel, that runs the channel that we're reviewing this from. So sorry about that.
Go after each other's character. I don't give a fuck where you been or how you got here. As long as you fucking act right, you on the team. And look, shit's discouraging. Y'all do y'all thing, I'm gonna keep pushing. I want answers to a lot of this shit going on in the world. It ain't just two crime cases. You know what I'm saying? Y'all catch your ears when y'all come on back. You know what I'm saying? Shit, even bad karma, bad juju for everybody. Y'all keep y'all coming 100 and y'all keep rocking it too.
Another beat in the grave, we in the day, come out the kick in the bank. It's looking easy to nobody say feds on. I had to breathe to see how to.
Okay, so I guess that's the death box story, or the box story. I don't know about the rest of what this is about, but I don't think it has any real relevance to it. So anyway, that's the story. Supposedly she was put in a box and then buried in this local cemetery. It's very close to them, supposedly. There's no proof that I've seen. TBI has never said anything. Scully, that's funny. I don't know. He's newer to me, you guys. I'm not familiar with him. So, but the link for the channel is in the chat, and there is the name of the channel again. Anyway, that is this supposed theory on the box. I don't know how true it is. Like I said, purely speculation and alleged until it's given to us from a law enforcement agency or a document. That's all I can say on that. That's this new theory that's out with her case. I wish they would find this little girl one way or another and put closure to the world, because the whole world followed this case, and give her some justice and some dignity, period, in either sense, whatever it is. Could S have passed, then placed in the back of the car? It's very possible, Stitches. This is one of those cases where anything is possible, truly, at this point. Anything. So that's just how I felt about that, 100%. After the beginning, first year, I kind of was like, wow, anything could be possible. Anything could be possible. Now I'm going to show you this other piece that relates to that, and then we're moving on to another a couple here. Hold on. So moving on, Michelle put a video out on this as well, on the box thing. The other one was sent to me. The Killer Looks thing was sent to me via email. This one I went looking for and found, and because we do a lot of stuff with Michelle. I know some of you guys aren't fond, but I am, so my apologies. Just bear with me. Yeah, they did do that, Aries. They searched that cemetery and freshly dug area where there was a recent funeral during that time, which is why I didn't put a whole lot of stock into that story, unless something came about after the fact, is what I thought is the only way it could possibly make any sense, because they were definitely searching that area at that time.
Fred, and Fred done put the word up to him. You say my name again, and he'll kill you.
Okay, before we get into this video, I've got a couple of things to say. Firstly, yeah, I didn't go live last night over on my other channel, Michelle Walks, because my allergies are nuts at the moment. I've got like bad chest and it's just annoying. So I may be live tonight with the Delphi case, or I may not. I doubt that I will. Yeah, it's allergy season, so what can you do? All right, secondly, you know what I'm going to say if you watch my videos frequently. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and with your help, I think I can do it. All you've got to do is get to 100,000 subscribers by the end. Look great on my wall. Anyhow, let's get into this video. We're going to start off with the crazy case of the quadruple homicide that...
Hang on, because we're going to run that ourselves here next. So let me jump to the part where she's talking about Summer here. Here we go.
Watching this case, you'll know that a while ago there was a flurry of interest because Andy Bernard, who is now like a friend or an acquaintance, I guess you would say, of Ryan Finds Truth, was saying that Summer was in Morrison Cemetery. But what we're going to talk about now is an addition to that, because it's not just Andy Bernard who believes she's in Morrison Cemetery. I did some videos about the Andy Bernard situation when that came out, so 8 months ago. But we're going back further than that. We're going back 2 years to when Fred Hill, who lived at the properties 165, 167, and then further down the road at 207, the Hill family own both of those properties. And Fred Hill was in jail for meth dealing. And he was speaking to YouTuber Ziggy while he was in jail. And she recorded his conversation, and then she ended up getting banned from speaking to him because they found out that she was posting that on social media. Fred and Ziggy have since got married, and Fred lives with Ziggy now. But 2 years ago, if you remember this, he made a claim to Ziggy on a jail live chat thing that the guy who is responsible for Summer disappearing is a guy called Cotton Simpson. Now, Cotton Simpson had died. He fell down a cliff, right? Supposedly an accidental death. So Cotton is not available to defend himself. So Fred could make all sorts of the wacky claims he likes, and Cotton is just, well, he's still dead, isn't he? He's dead. He said that Summer's body was hidden behind some like waterfall in a park about 5 miles away from Ben Hill Road, Laurel Run Park, which is very close to where Cotton Simpson lived. Okay, so that makes sense. So Ryan Finds Truth ended up communicating with Fred, getting some information, and trying to find this waterfall, because there's like a bunch of waterfalls in Laurel Run Park. So tried to find the location, couldn't find it, and concluded that Fred was lying. So that's kind of where this part of the case ended. Summer's still missing, and there's no evidence to implicate Cotton Simpson other than what Fred Hill said, right? Because Fred Hill is a man in the know. Well, Cotton's family were upset by the claims that Fred Hill made and said Cotton no way would abduct a child, murder a child, abuse a child. He got some issues, he got some crimes in his past, but nothing related to children. Let's fast forward to 2 days ago when Ryan starts making these claims. Because I don't generally watch Ryan Finds Truth, this video didn't pop up to me as I suggested. I only found this out last night when Chasing went live. This was in the middle of the night, my time, but as I'm coughing and sneezing and all of the things, I was awake last night. I watched part of this live. I did fall asleep before the end. I didn't realize she was live for 5 hours. So I maybe watched 3 hours of it. So I'll go back and watch the rest later. So Chasing is going through Ryan's live stream. Now, The first clue that Ryan talks about is pertaining to Fred Hill. So let's listen to what Chasing
Yes,
said
Alicia.
about that clue.
2 years ago, somebody close to Cotton told Ryan and Jen something. I don't know. That we don't know what the text messages said, except that it was from Fred Hill to Cotton about what they did to Summer. Who's they? I don't know. He's saying it's alleged and that the TBI has Cotton's phone. If this is accurate, Fred was arrested after that, and they did give him a lie detector test in regards to Cotton Simpson. Remember, we've seen that, and it's, you know, the questions were like, did you know anything about Cotton's death? That kind of stuff, right?
Right. So it kind of makes sense. It really does make sense. So what happened was Fred Hill texted Cotton Simpson, obviously when Cotton was alive, giving the details about what they did to Summer Wells. Now, we don't know who they is. And Fred has said a whole bunch of things to Ziggy, which Ziggy has made public. We've no idea if Fred Hill was telling any form of truth when he texted Cotton. And we know these text messages exist because a family member or someone close to Cotton has seen them. Now, they've not been made public. The TBI have them. The TBI have Cotton's phone. Now, what's interesting is that they were aware of Fred Hill's possible involvement or knowledge. They go and arrest Fred so that they can, I don't know, speak to him when they want to get some maybe truth out of him. And he took a polygraph, but apparently, according to Fred, now we don't know, we weren't there, were we? It was all pertaining to Cotton Simpson, like Cotton Simpson's death. What did he know about Cotton Simpson's death? Because apparently he was telling Ziggy on these live streams things that weren't in the public domain. So where did he get that information from? Right. But we have to conclude that they were also interested in any information that Fred might have pertaining to the abduction, the death, the possible murder of Summer Wells. Now, this is where it gets really dark because apparently Summer's body was hidden, no longer intact, which is a horrific thought. I don't know, dismembered after her death, and it's just horrendous. If you remember, Andy Bernard said via Jodie Sue is Andy's then partner, and Summer disappeared, split up now, but that Summer died on a Saturday and he'd seen Summer's dead body. Apparently he told his and Jodie Sue's daughter to scare her, to terrify her. That's what Jodie Sue said. But what Jodie Sue says is very often she goes back on it. You know, like the thing about Andy giving drugs to 110 so they could sedate the girls so they could be touched. Yeah, Jodie Sue said that, but she reneged on that. So what are we to make of this? That these details that Fred Hill knows what they did to Summer and that Summer's body is no longer intact was sent to Cotton Simpson. And since Cotton Simpson's death, this has become known by the TBI. Right. So it does make sense that they'd be all over Fred once he was inside. So the Morrison Cemetery thing, I guess they're related, but a separate issue.
Okay, clue number 2 is called The Box Story, according to the summary that YouTube gives. Clue 2, The Box Story in Morrison Cemetery. The speaker reveals that they obtained a muffled audio recording from someone within Fred Hill's inner circle mentioning the box story involving the partial remains and that Morrison Cemetery was the target location for hiding the remains. This information was shared with TBI.
All right. So this is an AI summary of Ryan's video that Chasing did. I need to start doing that. That's a good idea. No, I need to listen myself. I don't trust AI. So part of Summer's remains, partial remains, were put in a box and buried in Morrison Cemetery. Now, the story that Andy Bernard gives is that somebody who died around the same time that Summer went missing, the remains of Summer Wells are in his grave because, I don't know, someone snuck the remains of Summer Wells into this grave, and then intended person that this hole was for was laid on top. But if Summer's body was dismembered, chopped up, whatever, if they were intending to put a body in Morrison Cemetery, why would they need to do that? Or did they do that before they realised that they could put this body in this grave? Why wouldn't they just put all the remains in there? I don't understand why this is partial remains. But I guess if this is true, there's a lot we don't know. Now, there is more to this, and if you want to get into this in more detail, then I'll direct you to Ryan Finds Truth. And if you want a discussion of it, go to Chasing. But what do I make of it? Well, Fred Hill is not known for telling the truth. Regardless of what his wife Ziggy says, stories have changed. You know, he said that when Summer went missing, he wasn't there because he was taking vehicles to the Scrappy in Kingsport. And then the story changed that he didn't go there. So where did he go? Now, the latest story is something to do with motorbikes. And that's what he was doing. So it's convenient that Fred Hill wasn't on Ben Hill Road when Summer went missing. It's also interesting that Candice was seen at Fred's by Fred's friend Chad Arnold at 4:30. And Candice says, yeah, she went there, apparently. And that's around the time of the scream. You want to start putting all these little pieces together. But apparently she was looking for Summer at 4:30. This is why I've been talking about this timeline forever now, that Summer was missing by 4:30. And then from Fred himself, we've got knowledge of scent alerts. Just so you get some orientation. That's where Cotton Simpson lived. That's Laurel Run Park there. That's where we were talking about before. But Fred told Ziggy that a dog hit here, a dog hit down there. So there was a scent alert on one of the properties. There was a scent alert across the road, close to Fred's property. And we've also got these footprints that I've talked about loads. One on Mary Sexton's land, one on Mr. Phillips' land. A scent-specific live scent tracker dog found those footprints on the 19th of June, so 4 days after Summer disappeared. When these scent alerts were found, I think that was a little bit before. But after these footprints were found, there was an all-night search for Summer Wells because the theory was, according to Dave Rader from EquiSearch, who got into town late on June 19th to assist with the search. So he went out there on Sunday, and all the searchers were talking about this all-night search. And it was the theory of law enforcement at that point that someone had abducted her and brought her back and just dropped her off in the woods, and she's wandering about there on her own. And that's where the footprints come in. But how did she get high up on a ridge? Now, yeah, little kids can climb, I guess, and she's a country kid. She could get there on her own, I think, with a push. But why would she? Would she be just totally lost and climbing up a hill, thinking it was her hill? Maybe, possibly. But I think it's more likely that someone was carrying her, and that's why there's only like one footprint here and then one footprint there. Someone's carrying her. We don't know what direction they're carrying her in, right? But if there's a scent alert here and a scent alert here, and if they're carrying her this way and then they take her in a car somewhere, there's a burnout property down there. But look, pieces fit together. However, Fred Hill could have been lying to Cotton Simpson. Cotton Simpson's family are, I think rightly, angry with Fred Hill. Now, would they make stuff up? Well, apparently the TBI have Cotton's phone, so no, they're not making stuff up. Unless that's a complete fabrication, all of it is a complete fabrication. Fred Hill was questioned when he was in jail and given a polygraph about Cotton Simpson. The cops are definitely interested in Cotton Simpson. So what about Morrison Cemetery? Morrison Cemetery is just across the road over here. It would be a convenient place to hide a body. But this person who is in Fred Hill's inner circle tried to get a recording from someone who knows about this, but put the recording device, a phone or whatever she was using to record, and it's a she, so is it Laura? It's either Laura or it's one of Fred Hill's sisters. That's what I'm concluding anyway. That's just my guess. Put it next to a fan in the car and it's almost inaudible. So Ryan can't really hear it properly, and he sent it to the TBI anyway. What are we to make of it? It's intriguing. it ties some things together, but this case has been crazy from the outset. So just because things start tying together because of this information doesn't really help us. Any one of these people could be lying. But it is interesting that from two kind of lines of inquiry, so to speak, Morrison Cemetery has been brought up. And you've got to admit that that is concerning. Now, it begs the question, why haven't TBI investigated the claim that Summer's body, or maybe part of Summer's body, is hidden in a grave? Why haven't they got a warrant and the necessary permissions to dig that grave up? It's bad for the family of the guy who's in there, I understand that they'd have to be, I think, ultra convinced that there was remains down there before they would do it. The TBI, apparently, according to the Wells Facebook page, have been in the area recently. I did a video about that very recently, that they asked permission from the Wells to search the road. Well, the Wells don't own the road, so maybe it's not permission, maybe it was just making them aware that they were there. Following up on what, though, we don't know. You might be able to tell my voice is going now, so I'm going to say goodbye here. I'll leave a link to the Ryan Finds Truth live stream and Chasings Live in the description box, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Right. So there it is. Take it as you will. Whatever you think it could be. It sure as hell, it's been a disaster, that's for sure. I would love to just get some real answers out of it. I really would. Hang on here. 1 minute, guys. And we're going to move into this. This happened a few days back. I figured I didn't really get to talk to you guys about this, so I figured it's about that time. Here we go.
I want to take you out to another developing story that we are covering, this one out of the Arkansas area, as police in Arkansas are searching for a suspect in the deaths of a couple who investigators said were attacked while on a wooded walking trail with their two very young daughters. Clinton David Brink, 43 years old, and Kristen Amanda Brink, 41, were found dead Saturday at Devil's Den State Park, that's over in Washington County.
Now, I know a lot of you guys, I've already been through this and you're up on this, but we're just updating on it, so my apologies. I'm a little behind.
A suspected homicide, that's according to Arkansas State Police, and you see their photos right there on your screen. Now, their daughters, who are 7 and 9, were not injured and are being cared for by family members. Officials describe the killer as a white male wearing dark shorts, a dark ball cap, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves. He was seen driving toward a park exit in a black four-door sedan with a license plate partly covered by tape. The car, possibly a Mazda, may have been traveling on State Highway 170 or State Highway 220 near the park in a rural wooded area with limited cell phone service. Again, all of this here is according to police. I do want to pop this up on your screen. This is coming from Arkansas State Police once again, as they do say a couple who was killed at Devil's Den State Park on Saturday, July.
No, it's understood that they have this guy now. I'm just giving you guys the story real quick.
26th, 2025, was hiking with their two young daughters when they were attacked. The girls, who are 7 and 9, were not injured and are safe with family members. They are providing updates here, not quite in a news conference just yet, but for now, essentially just putting out these statements. Now, they did follow it up with the victims have been identified as Clinton David Brink, 43, and Kristen Amanda Brink, 41, who recently moved to Prairie Grove from another state. Again, investigators are saying this does appear to be a homicide. Shay Lewis, the secretary of the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, said rangers had stepped up patrols there at Devil's Den after this. In a statement, Lewis said, quote, "Our hearts are with the victims' loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. The safety of our visitors and staff is our highest priority, and we are working closely with Arkansas State Police and various law enforcement officials as the investigation continues." Investigators have asked for potential witnesses to review photos and videos from the park, which is located south of Fayetteville. There was no information at this point about a possible motive. Officials said the victims had recently.
Okay. Now, more of an update. I just wanted to give the story to it so that nobody was confused with what I'm doing. All right, hang on here. Here we go. Once I never got to bring this to you guys when this actually happened days ago, so I'm just catching up. That's all I'm doing.
Right to that breaking news in Arkansas. State police have arrested 28-year-old James Andrew McGann for murdering Clinton and Kristen Brink while hiking in Devil's Den State Park. Police revealing he was taken into custody while getting a haircut. No motive has been revealed as of now, but law enforcement believes he likely did not know the couple.
We're not going to talk about his motive right now. We're still exploring and determining exactly what that motive was.
Can you confirm we've seen video of an arrest made at this Laputa's, the beauty shop in Springdale? Can we confirm that that's where he was taken into custody today?
Yes.
Here to react is Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. Nicole, good morning to you. So you just heard it there. We do not know a motive yet. One notable detail, though, is that the suspect is a teacher, was a fifth grade teacher. So what do you think about this arrest?
I think it's phenomenal policing work. I mean, this is what happens when you have local, state, and federal partners working together. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out very strongly and said, violent crime in Arkansas will not be tolerated. And if you want to commit those acts in our state, we will hunt you down and we will find you. And that is exactly what happened. I find this case extremely chilling, Carly. I mean, this is so disturbing. Young little girls out with their parents, on a hiking trail. And they've been, claimed to be and honored as heroes. They saved their children's lives, but yet they were taken. And it's just absolutely tragic. This should never happen to any child. But what's so alarming to me is that this individual had recently moved to the state of Arkansas from Oklahoma and had secured a job at a school. Thank goodness that is not happening. This person has now been charged again. Let's see what happens and make sure that this is the right person. They do believe that he acted alone, but this is absolutely chilling. And I have to say, hats off to law enforcement. This manhunt went on and they found the individual, and let's make sure that justice is served.
I'm glad you said move, because in all your years at the FBI, did you ever see a case where both the victims and the alleged suspect had both just moved to the area where the crime occurred? That just seems odd to me.
I did actually pick up on that and following the course of this investigation. It is very interesting, but they are saying that this suspect did not know this couple. And so, yes, they had recently moved to the area. He had recently moved to the area. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, sometimes in life, you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, but to understand his motive is going to be so important. And it's something that they have not revealed that investigators, I'm sure, are delving into. Obviously, now that they have a suspect, they are going to, no stone will be left unturned on who this individual is, what he was looking at on his phones, who his acquaintances were, doing exhaustive interviews, reviewing all forms of evidence to get to the bottom of who he is and why did he do this. This is just a sick, evil, and heinous crime.
Yeah, he was, as you just heard, he was arrested at a barber shop. So he could have potentially been trying to change his appearance. We're not sure about that part yet, but that's a possibility. Another element, Nicole, is the fact that his license plate was taped. And if it was taped going into the park ahead of the killings, that would indicate that this was premeditated. Do you think this was premeditated?
I do. I think that that's suspicious. I mean, who puts a tape over their license plate? I mean, they saw that Mazda vehicle rushing off. Thank goodness, again, law enforcement was able to get that information. But in my opinion, there was a precipitating stressor that caused this person to do this day. But again, understanding the relationship and the link, allegedly they do not even know each other. Let's look at this person's mental history, what their criminal history is, and get to the bottom of who he is. But again, this is just another wake-up call. I hate to say it, but you are not safe anywhere. And I don't believe in living in fear, but I believe that we always have to have our head on a swivel. This was a part of the park, that there was really no cell phone reception. This was a beautiful place. And so that would be a prime target for them. They can't even call 911 if they wanted to. But again, this individual was allegedly new to the area. Let's see what comes of this investigation. But again, my heart goes out to this family. My condolences. These children's lives will never be the same. To lose a parent and to see them brutally murdered before your eyes is the most evil and disgusting, despicable act that anyone could ever commit.
We still have so many questions. Before we let you go, Nicole, are you hearing anything from your sources in the FBI or just in law enforcement in general that has not yet been reported?
This broke, so just several hours ago. I'm still looking into that, but I do know that the FBI did assist with the investigation, and the Arkansas State Police were the ones that put cuffs on him, and so there will be more information coming out. As of right now, I do not have any more details other than what's been reported, but I have no doubt that there will be a lot of investigative details that will be coming out soon.
Yeah, these little girls were 7 and 9 years old, and this 5th grade teacher killed their parents right in front of their very eyes. The family released a statement saying Clinton and Kristen died heroes protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice. They will forever live on in all of our hearts. Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker, thank you very much for joining us.
Very sad, very sad. Thank God, it wasn't worse. It could have definitely been a way worse situation. Like I said, I know most of you guys knew about this. One second here. So this is the clip of the guy that did this, I believe, being arrested at the barber shop, I believe.
Video that you're going to see is going to show an accused killer on the loose just minutes before his arrest. This is 28-year-old Andrew McGann as he walked into a barbershop in Arkansas asking for a haircut. Moments later, he was arrested by police, claiming he is the man who killed that couple on a hiking trail as their daughters fled for safety. McGann is now charged with 2 counts of capital murder and is expected in court today.
New surveillance video shows 28-year-old Andrew McGann getting arrested Wednesday at an Arkansas barber shop, 5 days after police allege he killed husband and wife Clinton and Kristen Brink while they were on a hike with their daughters in Devil's Den State Park.
He did indicate that he had committed the murders.
Police say his DNA matched DNA found at the crime scene. Hairstylist Adriana Avalos told us she was cutting McGann's hair when officers surrounded him.
I didn't sleep last night thinking about those girls and knowing that I put my hands on that monster, that I cut his hair.
Investigators say McGann stabbed Clinton Brink first, and his wife rushed their daughters, ages 7 and 9, to safety. When she returned to help him, Detectives say she was also stabbed to death.
They absolutely protected those girls to their fullest extent, to the point that they cost them their lives.
According to officials, McGann was recently hired to teach in an Arkansas school, but hadn't started yet. He had previously taught in Oklahoma and before that in Texas, where he resigned after being placed on administrative leave over concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism. An investigation found no evidence of inappropriate behavior with students. Police are still looking for a motive and say they have no reason to believe McGann knew the victims.
Video that you are going to see is going to show an accused killer on the loose just minutes before his arrest.
That's crazy, guys. Like there's no reason, no rhyme, no reason for this, you know? It just shows that anybody could be crazy, I guess. Hang on, let me see if there's a better clip of it. Yeah, there's no sound, I don't think, but this is a wider picture. He didn't even finish cutting his hair. It's a good thing, though. I mean, God forbid this guy were to teach fifth graders. It's a good thing he was caught in a situation before he could have harmed the kids that he would be teaching. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Lord. Are they twins? Tomboy said he was a teacher there at Flower Mound. Wow. Okay. Sorry about the sound, you guys. Hang on.
I noticed I was in the break room heating up my food for lunch, and I noticed a black car pulled up. The doors open, so I would see who would pull up. I came back up here, and I noticed the guy just standing over here. As soon as I saw him, something fell off about him. He looked pretty scary. He didn't look like he was okay. He was very timid. He was always with his head down, long hair covering his face. But I didn't want to speak up yesterday after seeing the photos because anything can change from when those pictures were taken, and he looked to be a lot slimmer. But as soon as I saw the pictures, I'm like, that's him. He just looks slimmer. Like I said, he was on the run. He probably didn't eat or, took care of himself. He looked pretty confused. I don't know how to describe it. I saw him, his eyes just looked sunken, pretty kind of like soulless is what I could describe. He didn't want anything cut from the top of his head. He wanted to hide his face. He just wanted a fade on the sides. He didn't really know what he wanted, so I kind of explained to him what kind of haircut would go well with him, with what he had. Yeah, he just didn't want to touch anything from the top. Well, I was about 5 minutes into the haircut when a man pulled up and asking about whose car that was outside, and that's when he would tell him, I believe this is your car. And he just stood quiet. I guess he felt kind of scared.
Can you point it?
As soon as I saw the stickers of the evidence and stuff, I knew something was wrong, and I asked if it was real, if it could be related to the Devil's Den incident, and they said it could have been. Yeah, it's been overwhelming.
I get it, Aries.
I've never been in a situation like this, so I just couldn't stop thinking about the little girls that saw his face. He's pretty scary, dark sunken eyes, but it feels like it's too much. I could only imagine the Brink family, what they're going through. I saw the black car and I saw him. I'm like, okay, a couple things are checking out, but the way that he looked, it's what gave me the chills. I'm not reading his name. Yes, also with
Good question, Jules.
Write his name to sign in. I will say, just anyone take caution. These people can be among us. I would never realize that you could have someone in your chair that has done these horrible things, and just really be on the lookout and keep an open mind, and just try and be safe.
All right, so there's a little bit on that story. Hold on. Hang on here, guys. I also have this other story update too. Hang on. Just 1 second, please. We covered this one a little bit the other day on the morning show. I think it was Friday.
Manhunt underway in Tennessee for a suspected killer. Officials say 4 people were found dead in a car Tuesday, including the parents of a baby who was located by authorities just hours before. The child had been abandoned in a random front yard in a neighboring county. I want to bring in NBC's Jesse Kirsch, who's been following this for us. Jesse, this one is just so tragic. Police ID'd a suspect today. What more do we know about him?
They identified the suspect. They released photos of him, Tom, but they say he is still at large and should be considered dangerous. This is the image of the suspect that we are now getting into the newsroom. Authorities identifying him as Austin Robert Drummond, 28 years old. Again, he is considered armed and dangerous, according to authorities. He should be considered armed and dangerous and remains at large. He is now facing 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, and several firearms possessions related crimes as well. And again, authorities have released photos of the suspect. They've also released a photo of this vehicle. I believe we have that photo as well. There is an image they released of an Audi that may be the getaway vehicle involved in this incident as well, Tom. There's that image right there. So they've released these.
Welcome back, Elliot. Yeah, I know, Chet. There's a lot of stuff going on, you guys, that I'm trying to catch up with, a lot of it. And just there's a ton of there's more in Tennessee even after this, guys. So hang on.
Photos, clearly authorities trying to get help from the public to track down someone they say is responsible for these murders.
And then we also have some more details about the victims.
That's right. And as you mentioned, Tom, this was an infant that authorities say someone discovered in a car seat on a front lawn. And these are what we are learning, the images of that infant's family members. James Wilson, 21, the father of that baby. Adriana Williams, 20 years old, the mother. Courtney Rose, 38 years old, the grandmother. And then Braden Williams, 15, the uncle. All four of those people are now deceased victims. And again, their alleged killer, Tom, remains on the run, according to authorities.
Okay, Jesse,
Welcome, JS.
we thank you for that report. We thank you for watching. And remember,
So my understanding is they still haven't found this Austin Robert Drummond gentleman yet, who is responsible for those murders. That's a wild situation in itself. Still trying to understand. Thank God, again, though, that baby wasn't harmed. That is the one thing I'm beyond grateful for with that one. So they're still looking for him in that aspect. Next up, though, we do have I do know I did read an article yesterday, I think it was, where the guy they're looking for was close to that family that was murdered. So that does give you a little bit of a insight into that. But moving on, there's a manhunt for another person out of Montana and somebody else out of Tennessee, from my understanding, guys. Hold on a second. Did they get his associate? I am not sure, Chet. Hang on a minute, though. I got this too.
Two massive manhunts are underway. CBS's Allie Bauman has been following the details and joins us with the latest. Allie, what have you learned?
Tarika, 8 people are dead in 2 separate attacks. Both suspects are considered armed and dangerous. And in Montana, authorities are advising residents to stay in their homes on high alert. Montana authorities release this new surveillance image showing who they have identified as 45-year-old Army veteran Michael Brown, shirtless and shoeless, leaving the Owl Bar in Anaconda Friday. Police say he shot and killed 4 people inside the bar right next to his home.
I watched him come out of his house with a rifle in his hand. The fella that supposedly did the shooting has had mental issues for a long, long time.
Law enforcement found the truck they say he used to get away, but no sign of Brown.
Authorities are now focusing their search in the mountains near Stumptown Road, just west of Anaconda.
Nearly 2,000 miles away, police in Tennessee are searching for 28-year-old Austin Drummond, wanted in a quadruple homicide. The 4 victims related.
He is considered armed and dangerous.
Investigators found his car Friday, about an hour away from where the bodies were discovered Tuesday in Lake County. Authorities say Drummond had left the family's baby in a car seat outside of a home, flagging down people nearby to get the infant before disappearing.
That tells us that there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened.
Authorities say that baby is safe and being cared for. And Tarika police believe Drummond, who was released from prison in September, had been in a relationship with a relative of the victims.
Allie Bauman, thank you.
Okay, and then an update I have. One second, guys. I'll give you this part too. So there's a little bit more on this, and then I have another update on another case I wanted to give it to you. Like I said, I'm trying to catch up with a bunch of stuff that I was behind on, so please bear with me.
Have launched a massive search for a man they believe shot and killed 4 people inside a small town bar. The terror unfolding inside the Owl Bar in Anaconda, Montana, when police say a gunman opened fire at about 10:30 Friday morning. 4 people were killed in the shooting, a bartender and 3 customers. Police have identified the alleged shooter as 45-year-old Michael Paul Brown, seen in that photo taken as authorities say he got away. Overnight, investigators found his abandoned vehicle. The Deer Lodge County Law Enforcement Center telling the public not to approach the subject, saying he is considered to be armed and dangerous.
Anytime you got an active shooter still on the loose is going to be dangerous.
Brown served in the Army as an armor crewman. He was deployed to Iraq in 2004 and served in the Montana National Guard from April 2006 to 2009. According to an Army spokesperson, authorities say he lived next door to the bar and was not a stranger to that area or to the bar. No word yet on what led up to any possible motive.
Okay, so sorry. I know we're hitting a lot of stuff, guys, but there's a lot that's happened. So much. Hold on a minute. 1 minute here. Give me a second, guys. You guys mentioned it in the chat too, I noticed. I'll give you 1 second. Give me 1 second. Here's your update for this too. Ouch. This is a follow-up. We covered this a long time back, guys. About 9 months ago, actually, I think is when it went down. There hasn't been a lot with it.
A father pleads not guilty today to second-degree murder charges. Aaron Spencer is charged in the deadly shooting of 67-year-old man he found in the car with his 14-year-old daughter. Rebecca Brown was in the courtroom today and has the latest developments on a case that got a lot of national attention.
Aaron Spencer is not a criminal.
Monday morning, Aaron Spencer uttered the words "not guilty" in front of a judge at the Lono County Sheriff's Office, where he is facing charges for second-degree murder. All this because of an incident on October 8th, where police reports say Spencer's teenage daughter was missing and was discovered by Spencer in a car with 67-year-old Michael Fossler. According to the sheriff's office, this eventually led to an argument ending with Spencer shooting and killing Fossler.
He was absolutely fearful for her life. Not to mention that she had been repeatedly the subject of multiple assaults, violent assaults on a child. What are we doing here?
According to court documents, Fossler was charged in early September with 2 counts of sexual assault and 2 counts of sexual indecency with a child, along with several other charges. According to Spencer's defense attorney, Erin Casanelli, in her words, he did what any parent would have done.
We feel very confident that this community is going to come to Aaron's side because every one of them would have done the same thing for their child or their neighbor's child or a member of their family.
But according to prosecuting attorney Chuck Graham, who charged Spencer with second-degree murder, Spencer's fear is only part of the story.
They have a lot to say about the situation and me, but what's being put out there is not the whole story. And ethically, I can't go much further than that.
Outside of the sheriff's office stood family and friends of Aaron Spencer. This case catching the eyes of people beyond Lono County, as many Facebook comments feel as strongly as both sides defending in the state versus Aaron Spencer.
And we look forward to the public being involved in this process, certainly more so than they were today.
A trial date will be set sometime out in the future for a jury trial, and we'll go from there.
That was Rebecca Brown reporting. Now, the judge set a date today for Spencer's trial and scheduled jury selection to start next March 19th.
And that would be why we're not hearing a whole lot from this. Give me 1 second. One second, guys. Hold on. All right. Give me a second here. Okay, here's the other update in the quadruple murder in Tennessee. That there were other arrests besides Austin Drummond, I believe. So hang on here.
Breaking news is first at 10 tonight. 2 people have been arrested in connection to the ongoing search for murder suspect Austin Drummond, accused of killing 4 people and abandoning a baby. 2 men, Tanaka Brown and Giovante Thomas, are in jail tonight, accused of helping Drummond. They're charged with accessory to first-degree murder after the fact. Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Shay Arthur. As that search continues for Drummond, WRG's Raven Copeland shows us the latest developments in this bizarre and tragic case.
The Dyer County community has been on edge since Tuesday, July 29th, when an abandoned baby was found. The search for the child's family members took a drastic turn when they were found some 40 minutes away dead in Lake County on Carrington Road. The victims were identified as 15-year-old Braden Williams, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 21-year-old James Wilson, and 38-year-old Courtney Rose. Thursday, Austin Drummond was identified as the suspect in the quadruple murder. The TBI says he was last seen Wednesday in Jackson, Tennessee in a white 2016 Audi, which was later found in the area. However, Drummond was not located. 4 other vehicles have been found, including this white Ford F-150 truck with a red stripe. Investigators announced its discovery Saturday morning. The TBI found a truck here in the Burnt Mill Road area in connection to a quadruple murder investigation. WREG crews spoke to the father of one of the victims, who says that vehicle belonged to his son, 21-year-old James Wilson. Wilson's father did not want to be interviewed. However, he tells WREG that he hopes the police find Drummond before he does. This week, your news leader asked District Attorney Danny Goodman about the suspect's possible connection to the victims. The DA says the suspect was either dating or had dated a family member of Adriana Williams. Although there have been developments, the search continues for Drummond, who the TBI says is considered armed and dangerous. Saturday, WREG went to Dyer County to speak to residents about the case. However, they all were afraid to talk on camera or off camera. Reporting for your news leader in Dyer County, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
Oh, so there's that update as well. Hold on here. Okay. Just 1 minute. One minute. Just a second. Where's it at? Sorry, guys, this stuff is loading slow. Where are we at time-wise? 3:30. Okay, it's time for this then. Hang on. Bear with me. Hold on. All right, guys, looking at the time, with all that negativity, let's throw a little positivity back out here and realize that there's still some kindness and some good things going on and good people out there, as I like to try to do on a regular basis. Let's check it out.
Things, but can touch the depths of the soul. Let's start watching. Life may be rushed, but kindness should never be delayed. Look at the little cat gently lifting its head to kiss its rescuer, a quiet way of saying thank you. When humans and animals share a language, that language is love. Famous on the field, Hulk Pariba remains humble and always ready to share with others. Seeing the elderly lady struggle with her cart, the men couldn't ignore it. Simple acts of kindness like these can change the world. A gentle encouragement from the police to the boy. Keep it up, kid.
Say bye, say bye.
Though small among the ocean, human kindness is always vast. The courage of police goes beyond movies, making the world around us a better place. Noticing the man about to eat scraps, the homeowner generously brought him a fresh meal. He understood that kindness never leaves us with less. Flames suddenly broke out from a moving cargo truck, sparking panic. But fortunately, nearby people rushed in without hesitation to help control the fire. No act of kindness is ever too small, and every child must ensure that no one is left behind in the environment where we want them to grow up. A simple act of sharing today shows that your heart is with someone. For someone who truly admires you, your signature alone carries deep meaning.
Oh, we love you.
A kind moment that inspires and truly deserves to be shared everywhere. Even if it meant smashing the floor, they didn't hesitate. The dog's safety came first.
Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Like I said, there's still so much good out in the world and so many good people out there. All this negativity is just one thing to pass the day. Ignore it when we can and remember the good stuff. Let's get some laughs and get out of here, and we'll be back here shortly for the secondary show. I gotta do some honeydew list things for the wife today, so hang on a minute. All right, here we go. See if we can get a few laughs in at least. Make you guys smile before you get out of here. And like I said, I hope to see you guys back here in a little while here for the second video I got running for today. Hang on.
Are y'all getting robbed right now? Yeah.
He was trying to practice for an upcoming dodgeball game.
Oh man, this is not working. I mean, I always have a backup plan.
Oh my god, a dinosaur's been walking on my car. Just kidding, it's me.
She had no idea that the drive-thru speaker has a camera.
Do you guys have your mummy cookie?
Yeah, we do. Oh my god. Are you excited?
I missed it.
Oh, to the moon!
Step on it now.
Could you try and stay awake just for a little bit? You just slept for 3 hours. And you just...
He was so excited to show Grandma his new tattoo.
Kai Gregory Thomas Morrison, have you lost your mind?
Great, now none of us can watch TV. That's my TV! No, that's why I'm freaking stealing it. I'm gonna call the cops.
Sorry, Kathy. I asked him how he's been.
For some reason, this happens every time he closes his back door.
Right, Les has got to jump. Les, you got to jump off. All right, jump! Be careful!
She was making fun of Grandma for not having any teeth.
I am done with my shift.
This guy was trying to show off his car when the worst luck happened.
What the?
One of my subscribers has a pretty interesting professor.
If your name is Paul, you are named after this guy. And if you say, my dad's name was Paul, so actually I'll say, shut up, kid, you're missing the big picture. This is the Paul.
Cows go boo, sheep go baa, and you go.
They really hyped her up just for her to do this.
Some of you guys have been asking for like a house tour. You want to see where I live. This is the bedroom. It's pretty chill. I mean, it was hard getting the old bed up the stairs and everything, but it's not. Oh, Jesus!
Go.
They gave him his first piece of bacon to see what he would think.
Want some bacon? Thank you, Mama. What the? Hey, don't break her.
And have a happy and safe journey home.
And for our guests who parked in our Chippendale parking lot, please ensure you use the crosswalk. Crosswalk is your one and only access into Chippendale parking level. And the
Well, it's like.
This delivery driver saw this doormat and took it very seriously.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Package? No, I don't. Oh. No. I'll tell you about the short gospel of Jesus Christ. We're actually eating dinner now. Okay. Sorry to bother you. Okay, thank you. Yeah. First Hey! Yeah, you did.
Hey, asleep. Are you okay?
Do you like have cup holders? Oh, okay, perfect.
I didn't know the filter was on.
Animal for today.
Oh no!
They forgot to bring a flag, so they sang the national anthem to this guy's shirt.
Any last words? None.
Oh! Come on, let's go see him. Okay.
Oh, that was so nice.
Chucky.
Oh, it's so nice.
Here's what I got at the arcade. It's just
bow and arrow. I'm gonna try to shoot it.
Popeye el marino. Enséñalo.
Popeye
el marino. ¡A la verga!
When this person turns on the car, the steering wheel starts to spin. These dads were making fun of their daughters that were having a photo shoot on the beach.
You almost done?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part about this hike?
Going to the car.
Get him, Maverick! Get him! Get him, Maverick! 2 points for Quinn! Take Quinn!
Wait. You got attitude, bro. I don't like that weight. That sounded a little too.
Do it again.
Wait.
Oh.
So this guy stopped to help this guy whose car got stuck in a ditch, but the thing is he doesn't speak any English.
Let's just disassemble the car piece by piece and then reassemble it on the road.
Simplemente desmontemos el coche pieza por pieza y luego lo
No mames.
She tried some sour ice cream for the very first time.
So the young ladies will just have to wear something.
Hallo.
Hallo.
Können Sie Englisch?
Yes.
Stabil. Ich bekomme bitte einmal ein Doppelpack-Menü.
I don't understand German.
My daddy has a gold tooth. Wow, gold tooth? My dad has a gold tooth. Look, my dad has diabetes.
She's a good egg making me my bed, isn't she?
This YouTuber got some fake weights to trick some people at the gym.
What? I just ate a good meal. I don't want to throw up. Okay, let me sit down.
This university was dealing with a little water problem.
It's like really sus. Oh no!
Don't worry, Grandpa wasn't hurt. This poor little guy forgot how to do it.
Wow! Yay!
You okay? Let mommy go. 2, 3. Feet left.
Go ahead, Win.
Okay, now Winston goes and you wink.
Go ahead, Deke.
Oh, shit. Thank you for being so patient. You've been so patient.
Oh, the other one.
Okay, now.
Bosie, what do you think? Does that look like you?
This poor kid was scared of the Halloween costume her husband was wearing.
Hello. Oh, hey.
Trick or treat. I'll get some from that.
Please.
Lo celebramos en Playa Hermosa. Feliz 56 aniversario.
So I guess garbage trucks can be pretty violent.
it the outlet? Is it the outlet? Are we yelling at the outlet? What did you do?
What age should you give up on your dreams?
65.
Why?
Wait, no, actually, 80.
80?
Wait, no, actually, don't give up on your dreams at all.
So, what's your final answer?
75.
She somehow fell through the ceiling totally unharmed. That is the end of this video.
There you go, guys. I hope that brought a couple smiles to your face for today. Let's see, it's 2:45. I hope to see you guys here within a couple hours for the second video of what we're going to be covering. Like I said, is in relation to the Idaho 4 and just a good conversation on some other things I was looking into. So hope to see you guys for that. Thank you guys for joining me today for the morning show. I hope you guys, for those of you that I won't see, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you tomorrow. For those of you that I will see you here very shortly, guys. Thanks so much. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people. Bye-bye, y'all.
Life's a journey. Let's make every moment shine. Together we share our hearts so intertwined. Each time you tune in, we're dancing in sync. With every story told, just let your soul think. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. So gather round friends, it's time to reflect. In this joyful moment, what's next to connect? Let's cherish the laughter, the joy that we spread. Together we'll thrive until our hearts are fed. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more with all of you.